I need some practice on this. Like, I don't know how. But...
I will teach you one day.
Chill.
You do it like this. People, welcome to Detroit. I don't know what the fuck I'm going on. We're starting this shit. Good lord.
Are you still eating Airheads?
Yeah, I didn't know we were going on live yet. Hey, y'all scared the shit out of me.
We're live.
Are we live?
Now we are.
Oh,
we're live right now.
Fuck the chat.
Mirrors. No, the chat's great. Adrian, hi.
I don't even know if we're live. I just saw Ganja chewing and I thought I was scared.
Am I gonna be able to actually watch the fucking Facebook?
Wait, are we live or not? Because you scared
No. I just saw you chewing and I thought I would scare the shit out of you.
People, how you? Hey, what up? Adrian, how you doing? So glad that you're here. I'm so glad you didn't go to Canada and you're over there watching Double Toast and get drunk like everybody else is doing. But here's the thing, though. We're still here with you guys, hanging out with y'all, chilling and whatnot. Music's still playing. I'm going to lower that all the way down. Oh, it's all gone now. Jet, you have played way too much fucking Dragon Age to be referencing that shit for the last fucking 20 minutes. What's wrong with you? Jet?
Wow.
Jet? Jet! 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 Alan, how you doing?
You know how it is. That's never not gonna be funny. No, I do have I've been doing a lot of stuff, playing a lot of games. Good
night, people. Have a good night.
Okay, fine. You don't want to hear how I'm doing? Fine.
I had a special day. I want to tell people.
I was gonna tell my day.
No, Mr. Jokes. Ganja, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Y'all ready for some jokes, folks, and all kinds of shit that you miss on What Is Up, Son?
I am ready. I'm ready for that shit too. What is up, son? No, that's on Monday. What?
Hey,
Saturday. This is the chat attack.
I was making more a reference. What Up, Son has just become like pretty basic. Like they don't really talk about crazy shit anymore.
Yeah, they're kind of like, hey, you want the foolishness? We're foolish. What's up? I'm not talking shit about Double Toast or anything because we can't because we are part of them somewhat.
Because he gets paid to.
That too, yeah. Paychecks will shut your mouth real fucking close. But here's the thing, though, Corey, you're such a great boss. I like you, sir. You're so awesome, especially when you talk shit about me on live shows. Anyways, so the thing is, though,
I mean, come on, motherfucker, you've done that too. Don't act like you're the.
I didn't talk shit about Corey.
You are lying, motherfucker.
Alan, how are you going to pay you if Corey doesn't pay me?
You don't pay me.
Yeah, this is charity. We've established this already.
I keep forgetting about that. I talk in the mirror. I tell myself I'm amazing, and then sometimes I just forget that I don't pay these guys. So anyways,
I'm literally here because I love doing this. Like,
wow.
Not because I expected monetary out of this.
Here's the thing, though, Alan. I'm gonna give you another chance. One more fucking chance. If you fuck this up, I'm skipping over it. Alan, how are you doing today?
You know how it is.
So we're moving on. We're gonna get to topics. One. I know I don't give a fuck how your day was. I'll never ask you that shit again. People, so glad you guys are here. Alan sucks, right? Am I right? He does, absolutely.
Anyway,
yeah.
so how I did.
So here's the thing that's really cool. So we got YouTube. They're not saying shit, but it's more interesting than what the fuck he was gonna say. And that's great. Ganja, how about you? How you doing again? I know you told me already, but tell me again. Did you take a shit today? How was it?
I took a good shit. That shit was runny. I had to wipe it about like 15 times, but it was great runny shit, and I felt like I emptied out.
Oh, did you actually get that? Your bowels are actually clear, Mr. Hour-long shits?
Look. Don't be snitching out what my girl tells you, all right? Don't be doing that.
You told me!
Hey, fuck you. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Discuss it like 20 minutes
I can't even drink a fucking thing of water without you guys seeing some
What
crazy
did broccoli do for me lately? What has broccoli done for me lately?
I don't know. Probably would have helped your shits.
Fucking, I got E. coli and fucking everything with coli in the back of it, man. That was dangerous.
The lettuce.
You know what's not dangerous? Wendy's.
That is true.
Actually, they actively are. They recall shit too.
Okay, when you say actively, by the way, it's never really all that active.
It's a figure of speech.
I know, but it's like, it's actively.
Wendy's not actually stabbing you as soon as you walk through
I know,
the
but
door.
if somebody was like lazy, you'd be like, oh, he's not just lazy, guys. He's actively lazy. It's like, no, if he was actively lazy, he wouldn't be fucking lazy. He'd be moving around doing something.
It's a figure of speech. Actively, like going out of your way. It's like
a figure of dum-dum.
It's like passively lazy is like, hey, you know what? I don't know if I want to grab this cup. Being super lazy is literally having a mountain of cups in your corner, and you're actively going out of your way to never do anything if you're going to like doing other shit and leaving. Like, no, I like being lazy. That's what actively lazy means. Or it's like actively stupid.
Yeah, like you. Cedric
exactly.
Conscious go-to response when you're right about his bullshit. Fuck you. Yeah, it really is, and I appreciate that. I like that. Honestly, the word "fuck" is actually really, really amazing, man. Have you ever thought about like how many things the word "fuck" means? It's a noun, it's a verb.
It can make you feel insulted. It can be questionable. It can be curious. It's a very versatile.
Oh, what throws me off is when people say "I fucks with you,"
because that makes like, Alan.
Because the thing is, I grew up as that being an insult, like "fuck you." So if someone say, "Oh man, I fuck with you," it's like what? Are you coming on to me or insulting me? I'm not sure what you're going for.
Oh,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, or you're like picking on me, like I'm fucking with you, like I fuck with you. It's like stop fucking with me. But then your people you fuck with, you want them to fuck with you. So it's like, yeah, fuck with me, please. It's like
See,
I don't know.
I kind of wish I went to the fucking Toronto show just so me and Alan could hold hands, walk through the city of Toronto, enjoy some of that legal herb, and maybe do our final kiss on top of that big tower you guys got there in Toronto.
First of all, it's called the CN Tower. Two, I don't ever want to go through a fucking city with you because every single time that seems to happen, some stupid fucking elaborate story happens.
Hey, man, I already said on Facebook, according to autocorrect, I have to take you on a date.
Oh
Lord.
god, that was hilarious.
Here's the thing, though. I'm looking over here, and whatchamacallit, wait, okay, I got before I even continue, guys. You guys see this shit?
What?
Rox just showed us something in the chat, and I normally would not go far in doing this, but
Oh,
y'all guys
Trey's
see
not
this.
dead.
No, not Trey.
Oh.
Guys,
What's up?
when I say Sammy likes to steal ideas, y'all, please tell me how you
Loqueesha,
done
great
stole.
premise, but
He
oh my,
stole.
oh my god,
Completely
oh my god.
stole. Fucking
Oh
double
my-
toasted thumbnail. You gotta be out of your fucking
Oh
mind.
man, I was more freaked out that he just thought that that thumbnail for the actual movie was so good that he was also gonna copy that, not realizing how offensive that is.
Sammy, get
Wait,
rid
wait,
of
wait.
What a
Wait,
fucking
cut back.
crackhead.
Wait, can we cut back that they? What was the actual double toasted fucking thumbnail? Because that's still awful if they use the fucking poster for that shitty
Oh, it's the
fucking
same
movie.
thing. It's the same thing. It's pretty bad. I'll show you double toasters really quick.
Yeah, I need to see that shit. Cause what the fuck, dude?
All right, so I'm pretty much gonna go off at this point. So if you want to show Alan this, y'all can have the casual conversation before Ganji just basically loses his shit.
A Catholic conversation?
Yeah, a very Catholic, Christian, godly conversation.
Well, really quick, we'll show this really quick. Is you see over here, Laquisha? This is Corey's face, and you know, Kevin King does the thumbnails, and it's not so bad.
yeah.
It's whatever. But the thing is that you know, Kevin King has created this particular type of fucking thumbnail. You go over here, stole the same fucking thing.
Actually, it's way worse because what Kevin King did is he used Corey Coleman's as like that. That works. That actually like that's not as bad because using Corey Coleman's
He
face.
stole shit.
But no, the thing is, it's like with the double toasted one that makes more sense. He's using Corey, and you can basically use that as Corey losing his mind, whatever the fuck, and make it in reference to how offensive the trailer for the poster for the movie is. Sammy did it. He just took the movie poster, so he stole the movie poster and made it just as offensive as the actual movie poster.
Yeah, like
So
he
it's
didn't
way
get
worse.
Sammy didn't get the idea that Laquisha is offensive. He was like, "Oh, that's probably a really good idea. Let me copy that and put my face there because." Wow, that's just a hell of a lot smarter. How about just have an original thought, Sam? Do something.
All right, you know what? That's the perfect fucking transition for me to go off. What is with these new fucking comedians, YouTubers, and all these fucking people? Yeah, I get it. We stole a little bit of our setup from Double Toaster, but why? You're not gonna fuck with a formula that does it fucking works. Everyone has been doing this fucking nostalgia critic, right? It just happens to be nostalgia critic. Corey Coleman were the first ones to really do this shit and push it out hard. But this has been going on ever since the fucking internet was invented. People doing small reviews and posting onto the internet. My thing is when people are now just literally just ripping off each other to the point that there's no original content, and you can just watch one video and get half of YouTube's opinion on shit. And this goes with this bullshit. Like, it's just clickbaity shit. Like, I guess where Coleman's coming from, at least with Coleman's ideas, he's an African American, and he has the idea of like, oh, this guy's stealing my identity too by taking on the black persona. Corey at least has some kind of like artistic thing going on with his Kevin King shit. With Sammy, it's just like, oh, how am I quickly gonna put this shit together, have it all done right, so I can get the most clickbaity shit. He's done 2 clickbaity things since he got separated, and I don't fucking like it. Because honestly, he's a little bit creative. He had his own show on Double Toasted. We never got that shit. I mean, to a certain degree, we're on the SoundCloud, but I'm talking about the main website. But it's just one of those things that I don't understand how people are just getting away with this shit. Nobody calls these YouTubers out.
Yeah, and it's like there's people out there probably like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. It's like, no, dude, you can't keep stealing. He stole from us. Bad shit that we got rid of.
Dude, I didn't believe you. Like, I still don't believe you that you named the channel the Midnight Excellence. I don't know. My brain can't fucking fathom that.
I mean, many shows, and then like the going on at the same time, and it's like, dude, you do realize that you just divide a pie, so you just fucked yourself over. Like, why don't you come up with a new name for another day of the week, or the mid-afternoon Sammy shit, or something like creativity. Do something on your own.
Excellence chat attack.
Like what
The
the
MCA, just
fuck?
take our whole
Well,
name.
I get inspiration, I get it, but like we had a conversation with another fan of ours, and he just tried to like jack something that's been an inside joke with us for the longest time, and it's just something like, why do you want to make your name off of something that you had nothing to do with?
Yeah, like even if you
I never
succeed,
understood that.
if you succeed with that, are you gonna feel proud of yourself? You can be like, oh man, I did this shit. No, you're not gonna feel that way. You're not gonna feel great. They stole this shit from somebody else. You're gonna feel like a fucking idiot.
The real Rick Ross said it best when he found out that the fake ass rapper stole his name. He was like, I don't get why this man's taking my name and trying to use it to get famous. Like when I was trying to come up, I wanted to make my own name. I want to make my parents happy. I want to make Rick Ross a thing because I'm Rick Ross and I want to actually make my name something that people know about. Why is he going on using my name? Is it because he doesn't have the strength and the ability to actually use his own name to get famous? He's just a ride along bitch, and that's what a lot of these fucking YouTubers are becoming now.
Yeah, man. I'm looking over here.
Clickbait articles, there's nothing like YouTube didn't invent that. It's always been a thing. I
True.
personally hate clickbait articles more than anything because clickbait articles you can fucking read it. It's like they'll just do something that'll get you angry or piss you off. And Gordon like, oh, James Cameron said this offensive statement about Wonder Woman, and you read it, it's like he just didn't like Wonder Woman. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I wasted fucking 10 minutes reading that bullshit just so I can like fucking give you your ad fucking revenue? Nah, fuck that shit.
And
So it's like, yeah.
Roxanne here is saying that, also with Carlos Mencia was it the thing is that the D, which that's what it was, by the way. The D was actually stolen from Bobby Lee. They had a personal conversation and he was making fun of like mentally messed up people, whatever. He said D, and Carlos Mencia stole that shit, went on stage with it. He even stole Ari Shakar, the Amazing Racist. He stole all of his jokes too.
Ari Shaffir.
Shafir, okay, my bad,
Yeah.
I fucked it up. But yeah,
Not a good look for Sammy. Basically stealing just like Carlos Mencia, huh?
yeah, it's
I'm
fucking,
not doing that one.
and it's not even a whole thing where I'm gonna talk shit about him because I don't like him. You guys know I don't fucking like him. Like I don't have to hide this shit anymore because he's not with Double Toasted. But it's like I do want people that are involved in our community to get big because if Sammy gets big, then it might look good on Double Toasted, right? And then you guys can all say, hey, I met the great Sammy Gonzalez. It'll be cool for you guys, you toasties, who actually met Sammy for real. But the problem is like, when he does shit like this, he ain't gonna get big. It's fucking weak, and it's just pathetic. It's like, dude, we got the internet. You can come up with shit. You can just sit there and just think all day. And if you have a cool idea, you can look up and see if somebody else has it. So it's just like, how the fuck do you just steal off your last job, by the way? It just doesn't make sense. It's just like, dude, you're just so fucking lazy, and I hate lazy people, especially in this realm of podcasting, where there is people that bust their fucking ass to do this shit, and it does take a lot of work and a lot of prep, etc., and a lot of energy. And people like him will just fucking go on and just act like, oh, it's just a podcast, so I'll just steal an idea and think I'm the fucking best. Like, it really is annoying.
This is something that, like, I know, like, a lot of people have probably like, oh, well, God, you guys are on a podcast, y'all do a bunch of other shit. No, this is my problem with podcasting. When you talk to a lot of podcasts, this is something I've talked about with you, Nick. I've talked about with a bunch of other people, and even some people that I work with closely on other podcasts. Everybody wants to do a podcast, but no one really wants to do a podcast.
Yeah.
They just think you come up, you get on the mic, you talk shit. A little bit it is that. You have to have that natural talent to talk shit, bullshit around, and be comfortable in your own skin to talk to a live audience that might just call you all kinds of racial slurs for the next 30 minutes until you get an actual personal audience that likes you. But the thing is, you have to work towards that. You got to come up with stories. Like, the only reason we came on today is because we had something to really talk about. We had the first Blood trailer. We had some movie reviews that we want to talk to you guys and give our opinion, just fuck around. And honestly, the only reason we do reviews is because if we don't like a movie, I see it as a justice to help you guys out. Because one of the things that I liked about Double Toasters was I had kind of same humor as co-host and Corey. So whenever Corey and co-host said some shit about a movie and I had a close personality with them, I knew I was going to hate the fucking film anyways. Yeah. And I even tested it out. I went to go see 2 films that Corey and co-host were like, yeah, that's fucking garbage, man. Just to see if they were right. And both times I came out hating the film. And it wasn't even me trying to like emulate their opinion. It was just like I went in there with their judgment in mind and was watching the film, and I came into it, I was like, oh, they're correct. I don't like this film. It's just this idea of like, oh, I'm just gonna copy everyone's opinion and everyone's logo, and that's gonna get the analytics to keep selling it to me. What happens when you try to actually build a personal fan base to actually make these communities? Because here's one of the secrets about online communities, folks. The only reason we really can have guaranteed and actually make this career is because we have a little fan base that actually watches us a lot. We interact with you guys. Hell, we hang out every Saturday and watch shitty movies with y'all. Mm-hmm. And you have to put that stuff in because you actually have to make people care to watch you. You just can't put clickbait shit because all you're gonna have is fucking trolls and the comment section filled with bots, and there's no career in that.
Yeah, exactly. And then just one of those things too is just like it's so empty when he does that. I guarantee you, just based on that fucking thumbnail, whatever he did, I bet you Chris Stuckman did a way better job because he's trying to be Chris Stuckman. He's trying to be Philip DeFranco. It's like, why don't you just go be Sammy? Like, like us, yeah, we take a little bit of what Double Toast is. I'm not gonna say that we're the fucking most smartest guys ever either, but we're the chat tag.
Hey, we do gotta say we're the first ones that did the chat stuff, and now it's really popular now.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. That's a big thing here. It's just like, we're just the chat tag. I mean, we're not the greatest shit ever. We're very far away from being.
And not only that, like we can say that all we want, but no one's gonna care. Everyone thinks Dynasty was the first one to hang out with his chat. No, we were doing that on a fucking chat system that didn't even really work for us.
Yeah. I remember that shit. That shit was awful back in the day. You know what I mean?
I hated that shit. I hated the fucking chat back in the day, man.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things is like I'll say this to the day I die. The single most important thing when it comes to podcasting is your personality, because any news story out there, it doesn't fucking matter what it is. 100 other people did it. Why are they listening? Why are you guys listening to us? Because even if we're wrong, like Cedric likes to say every fucking 10 seconds, we're at least entertaining. Y'all here to be entertained. That is our job. So our personalities are contingent on the fact that we are entertaining.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're gonna entertain you at some point. I just need to get that shit out there. I want to get I just, like that was literally my initial reaction. We didn't plan that shit. I literally just looked inside the fucking our personal hangouts call and I saw that picture and I was like, what the fuck? It's just, yeah, man, people don't steal from other people, please. It's just,
I love the one for 8-bit crumbs. Because it just, the fucking URL is like Resident Evil 4 in like
December 25th. Yeah.
Yeah. And the image was the.
My favorite about that 8-bit crumbs. Do you remember how it started?
No.
There's a couple ways, but go ahead.
No, I remember how when the video game stuff with Sammy started. I'll give it to him. He was doing that shit at first. He was doing his own playthroughs with the bruschettas and the 6-bit burrito and all that shit. But he stopped doing all that stuff. He didn't even do this. He didn't even continue it on a double toasted format. Me and Alan start doing the unnecessary video game show.
Oh yeah.
And then somehow 2 weeks later, this motherfucker starts doing 8-bit double toasted shit. Now I don't want to be conspiracy theory, but the last 3 After Hours, their movies have done reviews on.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I just want credit, please.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, and that's fine because obviously we're not gonna do as good of a job with some of these movies or whatever either. But at least Corey, at some point has how to get our name out there. And plus, like, I mean, he's a friend to us. I mean, I think at this point, I think he's all of our friend, right? Alan, Ganja, like Corey's.
No.
I have spoken to Coleman a bunch of times. He's cool.
He calls you Penny Boy with love.
No, he doesn't remember it's me.
Oh
wow.
Which is good. Which is fucking good.
I'm gonna fuck that all up.
I don't need Jet fucking going up to him. He's like, not only is he the Penny Boy, but boy, let me tell you about ketchup.
Oh,
like, I don't need Jet doing that.
Why would I say that about my gay little brother?
Oh God, he knew that though. He recognized that when I said that a friend of Jet, and he just bursted out laughing because he remembered that shit. I'll never forgive you for that.
Oh man, but no, man, it's just I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say to that. Oh yeah, like just when. When it came to the video game stuff, it was like, and at the same time, he also tried to do like an after hours as well that no one joined, and it's like, just join us and then have fun with everybody. Why does it always have to be a competition? Like, and he's never stuck with it too. He's always been like, I'm gonna do the gaming show for 2 weeks. Okay, I don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, dude, just stick to something, man. Like, is that like a millennial thing of just like?
No, it's not, because we stuck to our shit. Like, you may have hated the format, but we did it every Friday, Nick. Yeah. And to the point that we got a chance to celebrate our first year anniversary. Like, the thing is, like, you just got to stick to it and actually care about building the audience base. The problem, a lot of people that do podcasts and YouTube, I get it if your YouTube is more like has more graphics and you put a lot of work into it and it takes you like a month to release it because you're actually putting work and soul into it. It's almost like a made for TV product at that point. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these people are kind of doing what we do. There's no real excuse for you to not to do it weekly and to have it up ready and just for people to enjoy. Like, we every other week, sometimes we didn't even have a game ready for a week, and you're like, hey, you want to play this and make people happy? Yeah, let's just play this. And it worked out sometimes. Sometimes it didn't. We had to go back to drum bar and learn our lesson and be more prepared, but that's how it works. Some people just want to just coast off of the idea of like, oh, it's the internet. People just watch the internet. Yeah. No, people don't give a fuck sometimes.
No. And I mean, keep in mind, too, is that, a set that we have, even with the Untitled gaming show, Ganja over here has like fucking 5 scenes you have to go through. It's switched between this scene to that scene, whatever. I have to do literally 38 scenes, sometimes 24 scenes, but usually 38. When it got like reviews like tonight, it's gonna be fucking hard. I swear to God, I've seen this setup because we were in a call in a meeting before. Sammy has 3 fucking scenes: his face in front of shit in the background, his green screen, and the game. You tell me it's too hard for you to just play a game? That's all you have to do. Is just play.
Even I did it, but I was awful at it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's just we stick to it. So it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that just frustrates the fuck out of me. But we will stop. It's all good. Speaking of just contentiousness and fighting and everything, I know everyone's watching AEW. If CM Punk returns, please tell me in the chat. Is the show still going on right now, by the way? Let me know. I will try to watch some of it, and all the Twitch streamers I was watching it through got banned. Twitch is really becoming the new YouTube, man. They're banning motherfuckers crazily. Twitch don't give no fuck, man.
Well, because it's getting bigger and bigger. The bigger something gets, the more people are like, "Hey, stop stealing our shit."
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, that's fine, but it's just I don't know. I think Twitch was getting popular because people are like, okay, this is the alternative to YouTube. But once it gets so big, it's gonna be like, man, what's the next one? And I'm sure Mixer's gonna come up or whatever the fuck it is. Okay, well, 90s was onto something with that though. 90s
No, he
are
wasn't. He was actively wrong. He's like, "Yo, man, I bet Mixer's gonna come up and it's gonna take over Twitch, or it's gonna be a competitor at least." I'm like, man, no one's gonna remember Twitch. No one's gonna remember Mixer in like 6
fucking
months.
right on, and to this day, I will have to tell this man he was right. Was fucking Bitcoin actually being a thing?
Yeah, I can't believe I got that one right.
Yeah,
That's the only thing he's ever gotten right, though.
You know,
yeah,
he's been on
but
a few.
that's one we should have like invested on because we would all.
I'm sorry, but if this motherfucker's wrong 99% of the time, I'm not gonna invest the
Well,
one
that's
time
they
he
call him
tells me to
90s
invest.
because he's 90% wrong.
That's a goddamn. I did not. I fell to that one. That's all me. That is all me. I didn't even think about that.
Anyways, fucking Rambo. Let's talk about something that'll make us happy.
Exactly, and I am happy with this. I don't know why, but like because of the trailer, I almost said I wasn't happy. That's how many bad trailers I've been watching lately, man. So I'm scared really quick. I'm just gonna preface this really quick and make sure this is the beginning of the fucking YouTube clip. People, I don't know if this is real yet. Something about this sounds too good to be true. So I'm gonna tell you, it's a leaked trailer, but it might not be real. So don't tell me I'm stupid if this turns out not to be real. But as I can see, it looks real as fucking ganja. This looks amazing. I am so
Yeah,
happy
bro.
to see this at the Cannes Film Festival that this fucking thing leaked. It was Rambo 5, Last Blood. I think that's a cool name. I think it's a pretty awesome name. But at the same time, though, it's like the trailer itself. Was it a good trailer? Is it something to be hyped? Now, I didn't hear a whole lot of sound, but I gotta tell you, man, it looks good. It looks shot well. It looks like there's a ton of fucking action. And, I mean, I would nerd out so much, but I've talked already so goddamn much. Ganja Guru, I'm gonna ask you, man, what'd you feel seeing it? What was the first impression you got?
I was fucking hype. I actually kind of like what's going on here. One of the things about the trailer that I really enjoy is the fact that they're gonna push it to the point of he's gonna do booby traps. He's gonna have massive explosions. This feels like a final from the trailer and how it's being done. Even down to that last scene where it kind of looks like Rambo is mortally injured, which I kind of like this story. Though I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to how they ended off the last Rambo, because the last Rambo was kind of a lot of symbolism towards the end of him coming home and finally giving up on war and giving up on the concept of being violent. But they kind of teased that a little bit in the first half of that one as well. So I wonder if it's just one of those things they just keep pulling me back, man. I try to give up blood and warfare, but they could keep pulling me back. And I kind of enjoy that. I like to see Rambo go out on this one final hurrah and die a soldier's death because I think it fits the plotline of the story. Alan disagrees because he doesn't like main characters dying just for the sake of the story of having a good finale. I personally enjoy that because sometimes the best finale is death because that's all of our finals.
No, I agree with you in that sense too, but obviously, Alan, you know, and this is your time to start hating it because it's you. What are you feeling about this, man?
Something that God just said earlier is that I think Rambo 4 ended on a great note because I have the exact same history with Rambo that I did with the Rocky movies. Is the last one that came out was the first one I watched. So I watched Rocky Balboa, the 6th Rocky movie, and then I watched Rambo 4, the 4th Rambo movie. And I loved them both the first time I watched them. And then I went back and watched the series again to see how it kind of starts. And yeah, I think the name Last Blood is fucking awesome. The first one's called First Blood, and then this one's called Last Blood. The thing is I'm not a huge fan of this trailer because it reminds me of season 1 of The Punisher. Because they kept showing that action scene where he's on camo, booby traps, all that stuff. But again, something like Ganja said, the 4th Rambo ends with him basically, you know what? I fought all this war. I've done all this stuff. That was the last battle. They could have easily called the last one Last Blood, and he goes home. And I'm like, wow, that's a great ending to this character. But he's like, oh, I got one more. I'm like, I don't know if you have one more because, yeah, this looks good, but it just looks like a standard action movie. And I don't know if you're going to get that emotional core because that's what made the first Rambo really – that's what made the first and second Rambo really good. The third Rambo's a cartoon that's anti-communist propaganda. But the first two are really filled with that emotion. And it's like, I don't think you're going to be able to get it because, like, what's the story? Like, you already told every story with this character.
Yeah.
That's why like with the fucking Rocky Balboa movies, that's why the next one was about a different character that had Rocky as a supporting character playing basically a mixed role from, like, the first few Rockies. So that's why that worked. This, it's like, I don't know what the fuck the story's going to be.
Yeah, and I don't know either, and that's the thing that's kind of bothered me. I'm gonna ask you really quick, Jet. I know you don't give a fuck about action movies, but Rambo, have you at least given this a shot as far as the franchise goes?
Nah, never interested me.
It didn't interest you seeing Sylvester Stallone actually act in the first one, like crying up and acting all
I
crazy
can't
and
even
whatnot.
understand him half the time.
Aw, damn.
I'm like, you need to swallow his fucking spit.
Yeah,
Man.
I can't disagree with you, but I really do like Sylvester Stallone. I think he's a great actor. But this is one of those things, man, where I just feel like this movie doesn't have to do too much to satisfy whatever the fuck us fans want to see. But then there's parts in here too, story-wise, where it's like they drew first blood. I'm like, wait, you're not gonna be fucking with that town still, are you? Because like at that point now you're
the plot of the movie. He's so pissed off. He just goes back and tries to wipe the town out.
yeah. Imagine him going back and be like, hey, remember I was here last time? Good thing we're not doing that again. And then maybe somebody's son's like, you killed my grandfather, you fuck, and then it starts all over again. It's like, oh damn it, no.
Oh, I hope not, man. Because like something that Ganja's kind of been like, I've been kind of noticing this too. I'm really sick of like we're gonna do a reboot, but like we're just gonna like I'm kind of sick of the whole soft reboot thing. Because I thought I actually kind of liked it at first, where because Mad Max Fury Road and Cedric, holy shit, Creed came out.
What the hell?
Because when Mad Max Fury Road and Creed came out, which were very similar to the first movies, I was like, oh man, soft reboots are great because you kind of get the first one, but you change enough stuff to make it new and fresh. But I'm starting to get really pissed off because that seems to be all people, especially with sequels, because Creed 2, it's like, it just feels like they're just doing Rocky 2, and it's like, okay, I don't want this just to be the First Blood, because First Blood is such an interesting action movie because he doesn't kill a single person.
Yeah.
I had to think about that near the end of the movie, that nobody dies, like except for that cop that falls out of the helicopter. That's not his fault. Nobody dies in the first Rambo, and it's like, wait, that's an action movie in which nobody dies? That's nuts. But it's so intense, especially with all the traps he's doing. The fact that he's basically blowing up gas stations and cars and shit. It's so fucking intense that you're like, oh yeah, no one dies in this fucking movie. And the fact that they're trying to do this, it's like, what are you going for, guys? Like, you're just gonna try to do the first one, but just not get why what made it amazing?
Yeah, because Rambo 4, I think, had their idea. Rambo 4 was like, man, this the first one's popular, but it didn't get any kills. Imagine if it did get the kills, how much would be talked about then? And it's like, okay, same intensity as well as the violence and all the gooey grossness of being
Oh, it
a
was
violent
fucking
movie.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but so I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fucking cool. Obviously, if they come up with another trailer, even if it's the exact same trailer, but it's just in better, whatever the fuck. Like, we'll probably do another reaction, but it's just like, yeah, I wanted to react to this as fast as we can. Obviously, analytical reasons, as well as the fact that, like, dude, I'm hyped. I fucking love Rambo. Not one of my favorite franchises, but dude, I gotta tell you, man, Stallone gives quality. Like, Arnold's
He's
done
mad.
some lame shit, but Stallone, even, and I think I remember you getting mad about this movie, but Bullet to the Head. Like,
That movie fucking sucked.
okay, I like the movie. Sorry, y'all.
That movie was so garbage, dude. Like I like Stallone, and I think he could be a really good actor. He just often picks terrible roles, but everyone in that movie was bad, not just Stallone. Stallone was fine; he was just doing his thing. But it was the movie around Stallone that was so bad. Like that, the fucking the main villain, that black dude with the cane, money.
Oh,
You have
God.
to work for me because of money. And then you have fucking Roman Reigns slash Jason Mimosa. Fucking
Mimosa?
going, or whatever the fuck his
Momoa,
name is. Jason
man.
Momoa. Momoa, who's just like, yeah, I don't work for money. I work for my men. He then dives out a window and lets two of his men die in an exploding house instead of trying to save them. But you know, I do it for my men. And then you have fucking Han there, who spends 90% of the movie on a fucking cell phone calling the best cop in the world because she just gives him all the information he ever needs. It's like, that fucking movie sucked, dude.
Okay, well, I disagree, but I don't hate so much things like he does, you know. Mr. Robinson saying, I do wish they stopped at Rambo 2008. That was such a great send-up, but
Yeah.
I'm still curious about how this one goes. Max saying, okay, got a good stream for AEW. Maybe we'll watch that if we end the show pretty fast, because we're actually about to get into reviews right now.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that shit. But God, I really hope CM Punk comes back tonight, man. AEW is really cool. In case you guys are wondering, because you guys might actually be involved in these conversations later on, so I'm going to let you know what it is right now. AEW apparently is this federation, this wrestling federation that is supposed to take down WWE. Like, that's their whole goal, is to do a better show than WWE. And I'm fucking hyped as shit for it. It's going to be cool. But hey, you never know. Maybe things won't be so great. Anyways,
It turns into Raw 25.
that would be awful. I don't think it's the case. So I watched some of the show so far, and it wasn't that bad. You motherfucker, always trying to see me just be upset. Why you like that shit?
I over here hate the wrestling show for the term of kayfabe. You guys know what that fuck is.
He means
But
kayfabe.
in order to keep it going, I have to hate the show. I have to hate wrestling. I hate everything about wrestling. Even though I actually appreciate a lot of it from the 90s and early 2000s. I'm keeping up with it because I want to keep the rivalry going, even though our show got canceled.
It didn't. It got rebranded. The Ringside Hangout actually got canceled.
Why are you still so salty about that fucking?
Because we're still doing a gaming show with everybody that was part of the gaming show.
Yeah, but that's why I don't. Why is he all upset?
I don't know.
No, you.
Oh, I'm not upset. I accept it as a tragedy as it was. Alan's upset.
Why is it tragedy? Like what Alan said. You're on a gaming
It was a
show.
tragedy, all right? We were supposed to beat the WWE brand that was Ringside Hangouts.
We did.
We lost, Alan, because they had
How did we lose?
We had a new episode, and we haven't had a new episode in 4 months.
Okay, first of all, we were doing actively, consistently better than the MCA at the time. And two, the Ringside Hangout got canceled, and we went on for like almost half a year with the show. Like, we kept making fun of the fact that we're still going and they're not. Like, we won.
Listen, that's not true. So
what are you talking about? That's all true. You would actively tell us, yo, man, you guys are doing great. Like, he would call us, yo, you guys are doing great. You guys outbeat the MCA, but you know what? Tonight we're gonna beat you guys. You actively said that.
I know I said that, but in celebration of just action movies in general, I'm gonna use an Arnold quote. I lied.
You didn't lie. You showed me the analytics.
I know I didn't lie. Just fuck you.
No.
Fuck you, man. God damn it. Here, you know what I didn't lie about though? Alan, you gotta respond for me to get this joke out.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't giving you shit.
Well, here's the thing why I didn't lie. I didn't lie about the fact that Laquisha is some bullshit. Good God, people. Laquisha. Gotta tell ya, I was gonna watch this movie to do a review with you guys and be part of it and talk about things. I changed my mind. Fuck this movie.
Be glad you didn't.
I watched pieces of this and I got so insanely mad. But here's the thing, obviously what happens when we talk shit about certain things, people, we don't just automatically say, oh, it's bad, and then we just move on or whatever the fuck. Like, we have to make sure to watch it because we've been wrong, and we've admitted to being wrong a few times. So we decided to give this a chance, or not we, but the MCA, or, I'm not going to name the right shit. Oh, God, Ganja Allen. I'm just saying all the wrong fucking things right now. The thing is, though, like us, the chat attack, the panel, man, we watch every single thing that we talk shit about as far as trailers go, just to see if we're wrong. I don't know how different it is for these guys, if they have some kind of enjoyment. But Alan, I'm gonna let you go first, man. You're the review boy in here. You're the best one, I feel personally. What'd you think about this? And as far as premise goes, man, let's talk about that premise. Like, what is the point of fucking Laquisha?
Oh god. Okay, so basically the point of Laquisha is it's like a paint by numbers thing. Like, from the fucking first moment you see this movie, it's like this guy, he's working at a fucking bar and some guy's coming in and he gives him advice. Like, that's some fucking like 90s like Cheers shit. So basically the premise of this fucking movie is this dude, he works at a bar and he's quote unquote, and trust me, those quotes will be important, he gives great advice to the people walking in. And you're like, okay, well, that's how he goes into the radio thing. He gives good advice, and people are like, hey, you should give good advice. The first advice he gives to the guy is like, man, I don't like my job. I don't like this. He goes, you know what? You should be you, and you shouldn't work at a job where you can't be you. So basically, it's not his job's fault. It's his fault that he works at a shitty job. That's the majority of his fucking advice. Is he just go because another woman, a black woman, walks in and she's complaining about her boyfriend, and he goes, no, you shut up. It's actually your fault because you let him cheat on you and lie to you and all that stuff. You're actually enabling him. So two people walk in, and his advice is, it's your fault. So it's like the movie's trying to paint him as the good guy because some guy immediately goes, oh wow, you're really good at advice. You should almost do this on a show or something. And that's where he kind of comes up, like, he eventually gets the idea. It's like, hey, I should just do this and give people fucking advice based on how shitty my fucking advice is, but how well it gets received. And at the premise alone, I don't buy it. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, because the thing is too, and one of the things that happens in that premise is just the fact that, like, he already is kind of giving out this thing of, like, he wants to do, like, I don't know if his character's trying to be funny or not, but, like, he's making fun of Native people with this fucking voice, and he's like being so stereotypical about it too. And I don't know if you felt like that added to the premise of just like, hey, this guy is obviously a dude who thinks that there's comedy in racism, and other people think that's funny as well.
Honestly, no, because okay, at one point he does do an Indian accent to the woman, but what ended up happening, like how he ends up getting the radio job, is the woman that he was basically talking shit to, but she took the advice, was like, man, you're so good at advice. Here, you should go apply to this radio show gig. They're looking for people. And he goes, no, I'm too honest and real to do that. I would never besmirch myself. But then he eventually kind of goes and watches this garbage ass like Maury ripoff on television, and his two black women are arguing. He goes, man, you see, nobody wants to listen to a white guy. They'd rather listen to a black woman. He's like, wait, I can. And then he like almost like the fucking dun 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 dun, like he came up with the fucking idea. So it's less of he thinks
What
this
if I was black?
and a woman. It's less about him trying to think this is funny and more of that whole white racist shit of like, well, you know what? If I was a minority, I'd be getting all this privilege, like type shit. That's what it doesn't come off as
So you got
angry as
that too? That feels like the angry old white dude. It's like, man,
Yeah,
if
literally.
I was black, I could make all the jokes because I'm white. I can't make no joke. Shit, well, I'm gonna pretend to be black so I can do all the jokes and advice that black people give.
Yeah, that's literally what it goes. Because
Yeah.
at one point, he literally goes like, "Well, oh, no one wants to hear from a white guy. I bet if it was a black woman, I'd get totally a bunch of views." And then that's when he comes up with the idea. So it's like, it's not about it's funny. It's more of hey, fuck them. I want to do what I want type shit.
Yeah, and that really does suck, man. So obviously the premise, you guys are definitely giving this like a thumbs down. Like this is some
Oh
bullshit.
fuck yeah!
That's fucking
There's
trash.
nothing in this premise to say survive, bro.
Okay, because yeah, man. Moving on from this, man, is its intended audience, and I don't know, I do not know who this was for.
I got it.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
All right, so there's two people here. The other side's complete assholes. I'm gonna get on them later because it's the shortest round. The first one is, how many of y'all have friends that like to do edgy jokes? I do edgy jokes sometimes. I love fucking doing it. And as you know, I'm a hardcore leftist. But edgy jokes are fun to make people laugh. The problem is you have a group of people that like doing edgy jokes, but they don't accept the responsibility as edgy jokes. So when you like, get called out, they get ultra mad and they feel like you're assaulting them in their culture, and it turns into something bigger than just, hey man, you should tone down that black joke a little bit. It was just hardcore and it really wasn't that funny. Well, if I was black, Eddie Murphy said a joke like this, Chris Tucker said a joke like this. If I was black, I could say jokes like that, but because I'm white, it's not funny. No, it's because you don't have the experience or live that life to have the actual way to make yourself come back to it in a term of endearment or a sense of like, I went through this struggle, let me turn it around and tell you guys now so you can laugh at my pain and I can also laugh at my pain because isn't this stupid and hilarious? No, you're just being like, hey, it's observational humor. Hey, so-and-so is like this. Aren't all black people like this? No, that's a stereotype. That's the literal definition of stereotype. And even some minority communities are guilty of that shit because it's easy humor. Just because it's easy and it makes people laugh doesn't mean it's always acceptable. And that comes from someone who is a wannabe comedian. You got to get that people are going to get off your ass. And this movie is for those people that don't like that idea. They like the idea of if they can just be themselves in this ultra stereotypical role, as long as it's truly who they are as an individual, they should be allowed a break. And that's not how that fucking works. So this movie is for those people that are like, jokes can go as far as they fucking want. And you can do whatever you want as long as it comes from a good place. And the second half of these people, and there's dialogue in this where his mom, the main character's mom, is like a stereotypical libtard. Like, just think of the most like liberal, like SJW people you can think of, Nick, that even I fucking hate.
Mm-hmm.
That's her. And it's literally, it feels like almost a right-wing movie where it's trying to push these ideas without saying it. It's really dog whistling to it. Because at one point she's like, "Oh, are you doing this because you feel offended, or you feel like you just got to prove something to me? Is that what it is?" "No, mom, I just feel like this is something I got to do." "Oh, it's probably deeper than that. I'm offended to have you as a son." It goes into that idea of like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm hardcore, I'm edgy, and I know how the world really works. Everyone's got to think like me because I give that proper advice. And everybody around me is just a libtard and can't handle my truth telling." And that's pretty much who the movie caters to.
The thing is, I kind of want to jump on it because like that is what in universe in the movie is trying to cater to. But as far as the meta narrative, I think this entire movie. I think it was based on internet hatred. Because it feels like this movie was sold as, well, let's piss off the internet. So this isn't really this is. I think Gotcha is correct that this is for the edgelords that think, hey, as long as I'm able to fucking do edgy jokes, as long as it's a joke, I should be able to say it. As long as it's like from a funny place. But I also think that this was actually made to offend people. I think this is like, do you remember that movie, Inappropriate Comedy? Like inappropriate comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the same basis of we could sell this movie, we can make this movie as cheap as possible because it's really fucking cheap because it's in like 3 locations, and all we gotta do is just do offensive jokes based on race, and the people that get pissed off at that stuff, like a majority of the fucking internet, is gonna watch this to see how racist it is, and we're gonna get the views as a result. Like this feels like so it does reach its intended audience in both cases because it's trying to cater to the edgelords, but it's also catering to the people that basically fuel internet hatred. So this movie wins on both accounts.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's like really frustrating about this too, man. Because even if it was something where it fits like that audience that actually really enjoys this kind of humor and whatnot too, it's like I would hate to even give it a point for that. I would hate to be like, oh well, you know what, it's great for them, so I would
Oh, I didn't
recommend
say
it.
that as a point. You can mark that off as 5 negative points if you want.
Yeah, but obviously, like for its intended audience, now you guys still do feel, in conjunction with each other that like, yeah, this is not even good for the people that it's meant for.
I,
All
I,
right.
I have to. I don't know. I have to say, I think it is for its intended audience because it's for people to be pissed off at.
If you had me and Alan watch, God's Not Dead,
Mm-hmm.
we would be basically saying the same thing. But when you bring up the idea of your intended audience, that's why it's kind of weird with this one. If we were watching a documentary that's trying to propose the Nazis in a good light, it probably is for their intended audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is propaganda. Like for us to say like it's not for our intended audience, we're not the intended audience. So that's just us bullshit. So yeah, you got to give it points for at least being for its intended market.
Okay, yeah. Now the next thing is the character, the story.
Just thumbs. To start off, thumbs down. Let's just before we even get at the fucking gate.
No, because the thing is too is like this guy, this character. I mean, obviously the whole world revolves around him. You don't feel like this earns points for just building this guy's life and just letting you know like, okay, these are his friends, this is the world he lives in, etc. Like,
No,
it didn't do a
'cause-
good job just explaining that.
No, because it doesn't. Because he has a fucking bar job that apparently only 3 fucking people go. But he gets terrible advice. So his character's supposed to be this advice guru. All of his advice ends with "you're the problem," straight to the fact where they have a suicide woman call in, and I was about. I'm like, I'm done.
I had to grab him back. He's like, I'm done. I'm done. No, Alan, we've been here. It's almost over. Come on.
Nothing pisses me off more than people fucking doing suicide jokes. Like that is like my number one fucking like. Don't ever fucking joke about that shit. That shit is fucking real. And in this garbage ass comedy, having that, I almost fucking walked out because all of his advice are it's your fucking fault. You should get your shit together, and that's literally what he fucking tells to the woman. Holy goddamn shit. So it's like, as far as his character is supposed to be the good advice guy, he's terrible at that. As far as his actual acting, all of his dialogue is fucking terrible. It's just like, man, I'm just trying to do this for my son. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be honest. I don't want to besmirch me. It's like, you're just saying a bunch of trailer lines and it's all fucking awful. Then you have everybody else that's just like the fucking black woman that gives him the idea to go to the fucking radio show is one of the worst actresses like in this fucking movie next to the fucking dude here, and she just for some fucking reason inexplicably falls in love with him even though they only met for like maybe 35 minutes. Then he has this fucking friend who's the producer, and it's like he's probably the best actor in the movie, probably because he gets the less lines, so he can't really fuck that up too much. But every single character in this movie is one note and terribly written, terribly acted.
Yeah. Ganja, I would highly doubt that you disagree with these comments at all.
No, not at fucking all. Like all the characters are fucking horrible. They're one note. Laquisha is a stereotype down to the fucking nub, and the actual Laquisha that you run into, who plays her in public outings and who they basically have as the face Laquisha, while he does the racist fucking stereotype voice, is just another fucking. Jet, it's your favorite word you like to say, and it rhymes with a certain rocket. They don't stray from that fucking humor at all. It's literally straight out of like any of those old 50s Southern movies. Down to the point that she tries to go, well, I'm gonna tell on you if you fucking ruin my money. She damn near starts blackmailing the main character, and I don't understand why this film felt the necessary to go that far. And it's just that's what I'm saying. This movie is for its intended audience because it's based around the whole idea of like, I'm not racist, but these racial things exist. So let me just poke fun at it or make it the most exaggerated thing possible. So my character feels redeeming. So when he actually runs into the quote unquote real Laquisha and she's like she's possibly like a real scumbag, people are supposed to feel endearing because like, oh well, at least the main character, he's actually endearing as Laquisha. He actually cares. He gives good advice. He makes people feel safe. Where the loser Laquisha is just after for money and fame. Isn't that how they all are? I mean, I'm not even mean to say that. That's exactly how the film fucking portrays every character that's not this one white dude.
And nobody calls him out. Nobody calls him out. There are like I'm honestly surprised because I didn't think that they would manage to get anybody. But like there are a lot of black actors and actresses in this movie, and I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna have some meta commentary. No, nobody calls him out. And I'm like,
yeah, there's even a scene too where he's like going crazy on the radio, like girl, da, 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 and there's a black dude in the room, and he just smiles. He's like, oh, you're crazy.
that's his buddy. And when he tells him in the fucking room, I expected him to go like stand up and be like, nah, fuck you, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like I can't believe I never want to fucking be your friend. And maybe make it, oh, maybe that guy's a scumbag and is only doing it for the money. And it's like, sure, that's a fine character. But then as soon as he explains it, it's like, wow, what a cool idea. Sure, I'll help you. And you're like, nobody would ever agree to this fucking stupid ass plan that's almost immediately gonna get you arrested or at least fucking fired.
Yeah, I know. It's literally impersonating. Like, don't you get in trouble for doing that? Saying that your name is something this and your gender is this, and
Ah.
Not because it's a performance. It's like same thing with Borat and all that stuff. It's performance art. It's a character you're playing. But one thing that's fucking unbelievable is the public will be cool with it. Because at one point he's like, "Yo, so audience, do y'all want money as just me, or do you want Laquisha? So vote now." And it's a whole day about like, "Oh man, did I make the right decision? Are people gonna like me still, or like me for me?" And it literally ends to where this motherfucker could have his cake and eat it too, where he
Literally.
wins on a fucking equal. People want Laquisha and people want the white dude at the same time. So how they end this as a good tell story on is he does his show in the morning and at night is Laquisha.
oh my god, she
So
what
bad.
the fuck?
So bad.
Moving on, man. You talking about there was suicide? I would imagine that has some kind of effect emotionally. No.
Well, anger, yeah.
Yeah, anger.
I almost, honestly, if this was a movie and I was watching it by myself, I honestly think I would have walked out. Because, like I said, maybe this is just a personal thing. Maybe you guys don't feel the same way. But, like, that is something that's, like, if someone starts fucking making those jokes, or even someone says that shit on the internet, like, that sets me off in a fucking second. So, because, like, what happens is someone, like, he's doing his night show thing, and, you know, his friend goes, yo, we got a jumper. I'm like, no, 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 you're not doing this shit. And this woman is, like, they said it really dark at night. So like, and trust me, I can fucking tell that you had some fucking green screen New York shit in the background because
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit looked fucking bad. You didn't even try to set the shit on the bridge because you got like fucking $10 on this fucking movie. And he basically goes, yeah, you know what? You should just think about you and think about all the shit you're doing. Like, you ain't never been to Paris. How are you gonna die and never go to Paris? I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, he's talking shit about her for not going on vacation. This woman's on a pier.
Yo,
Like,
you
fuck
you really want to die in Detroit? Nobody wants to die in Detroit, honey.
You're
Yeah.
just like, oh Lord, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I legit thought she was just gonna fucking jump, and then
I
that would be
would
the
have.
conflict
I
of the
would have.
movie.
I fucking would have. The first thing she hears is this stereotypical black voice goes, "See, your problem is you don't appreciate life. Bye, bitch."
Yeah, so I mean, emotionally though, like there was nothing in here that I mean, not redeemable for him. I'm not even gonna pretend that something happened redeemable for this fucking white dude. But like anybody else in the movie, was there something that like some deepness to any kind of story that made you feel for a character or made you feel legitimately
cares
like,
about his
hey,
kid.
good thing this happened, or
He
I
cares
know,
about his
but
kids.
oh,
That's about
his
it.
kid is way more intelligent than he is in every way,
Yeah.
shape, or fucking form. Because he's the one telling him. It's like at one point he tells the story. It's like, oh, I pretended to like tuna, but then I ate it and threw up, and now he's not my friend. So what's the point of having friends if I have to lie to people? So his kid is way smarter than he is, because that's way better advice than the whole movie leading up to it. But it's like, I guess the kid is the only one because he's a kid actor, but he's surprisingly not the worst actor in the movie. Compared to the father, who's a terrible actress, the mother, who looks like his in movie mother, just younger. Like, it is just a fucking nobody in this movie. There's the only emotion I felt was anger and boredom.
okay. Moving on from this progression of the story. I will ask you. I mean, how do you progress? Once upon a time, the dude said racist shit.
I'll take this one. So, okay, the thing about the movie, and this movie was a trailer fodder. This was built to piss off people to get them into the booth because the actual movie itself has horrible pacing issues. It starts off again really dull, really slow, and then it has like it doesn't sprinkle out the anger over the course of the movie. Because you think a movie like this, you want to keep the rage up, you want to keep people angry because you want to keep them going on to the next minute. You want the retention. The problem with this movie is they'll start off doing something really dumb. You're like, oh, that's so fucking stupid, and then it just kind of dulls down. And you're like, oh man, that's kind of boring. And then it'll come back to the Laquisha stuff when it finally starts. You're like, man, this pisses me off. But I don't know. Again, this isn't my race, so I don't know how it would feel to be as offended as somebody that's actually a part of this. I can only compare it to when I've seen other shit. But like, I eventually got so used to it that I got bored because I'm like, they're not pushing the envelope anymore. They've already established how angry I am, and then just kind of gets bored. I'm like, yeah, you're not doing anything. It's just you're not doing anything more offensive than you were doing prior. So this is just lame now. But then they'll do something even more. But it's like it'll be like 30 minutes straight of the same fucking insulting thing, and you eventually just get kind of bored of it. And
Yeah.
it's like, so the progression is fucking terrible because the pacing is just slow and meandering, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's just fucking it's slow meandering, and it doesn't sprinkle in properly. It just kind of has it randomly as it needs to.
You know me, man. Every time I watch a movie, the only time I ask you, "Hey, man, what's the time?" is when I'm fucking bored. I did that like 6 times throughout this film.
I mean, I kept checking it, and you weren't giving me shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm gonna ask you, man. Do you feel like at least progress into different realms within the story where I was like, okay, you know what? Now this movie feels like it's in a different place than it was 10 minutes ago. Like, do you ever feel that at all during this Ganja or not?
I mean, when he's about to bang the black girl, I felt like there was some kind of love story there, but that was tossed out real quick.
Yeah, Jesus fucking
I mean, there was a
Christ.
progression of storyline where Laquisha might be taking over his mind, and that they're arguing with each other, and it turn into like a schizophrenic film. They dropped that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about progression.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. All right. Yeah, moving on. I mean, this is, by the way, this probably is our worst reviewed movie ever. I think
But
we're at
honestly,
1 out of 10.
I love how you set this grayscale up. Because if I was like a fucking teacher, I'd be like F F F F. Yo, motherfucker, you failed this shit.
Oh no, I think if someone if I was a film critic or something and someone presented this as like a project, I think I might fight them.
Yeah.
So, oh no, motherfucker, you're not getting an F, you're getting an
Just
H.
show up to their college dorm, just kicking the door. Square up, bitch.
So this is a grain scale right here that I'm going to change eventually, probably by next week, because I'm putting here action, and what I'm meaning in this sense is genre. Like, does it fit? It's like, and I don't know what genre it is.
Start doing that fucking Bruce Lee kung fu and shit, bro.
I mean,
That's
shit, someone should have beat his ass at the end of the goddamn movie.
There should have been some action.
But like,
Fuck.
I guess what I meant to say too is like activity. I guess like is there shit happening on screen? Because I mean, here's the thing, and this is one point where I think I might even disagree with you guys a little bit. I didn't see the movie, but it's like even from the trailer I can tell. This movie, you're expecting, like, obviously him to say a bunch of racist shit. So it's like, okay, how much racist shit does he say? I don't think this movie stops with the racist shit. I think this movie is constantly, there's something happening. He's constantly being a black girl. There's constantly people walking in and out of the room reacting to him. It gets so insane that he literally he has Loqueesha in his fucking head. And then the cops stop him. And, it's like, action-wise and just activity-wise, is there a lot going on here? Because it seems like
no, because a lot of what we're saying are little like 2-minute sequences. Because you understand, is a majority of this, like there's a 30 minutes of setup, then there's 30 minutes of Laquisha. The problem is when he's doing Laquisha is at first you're mad because he's doing this imitation, but after a while the imitation, it's like, okay, imagine the imitation, the racism levels at a 9. It stays because I don't think he ever drops the N-bomb. Like at least I don't think he does. I was tuning the fuck out so goddamn hard because he just stays at that same level. But imagine if you're on like the super fast ride, man, and you're like, oh shit, this is going so fast. After 10 minutes, you're just like, this isn't going any faster. The wind feels the same in my face. My clothes are feeling the same. I'm kind of just looking around now because I'm so used to it. You're so used to
it's like
that
being on a
level
plane, kind of, right?
Oh, 100%. It's like being used on a plane. Like, at first you're queasy and sick. You got a headache. Hour in, you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm so used to it that it's like it doesn't matter. Then again, like God just said, the cop stops. I'm like, oh shit. But then it only lasts a couple seconds. Or then they'll do the other shit. It's like, oh shit. And then it's like, but there's so little going on that it just doesn't again, there's no entertainment value in this because it only lasts for a few minutes at a time. Like this is a comedy. This is okay. You know what this reminds me of? We saw this trailer in the after hours. It was the White Savior movie. Imagine if they actually tried to make a White Savior actual hour-and-a-half film. It would be terrible because it would just be all of the jokes we saw in the trailer, but just extended, and it doesn't work as well because you can only do those jokes for so long. This is an SNL skit. This is a Comedy Central bit where you have a 5-minute video of this, and then it ends with him getting his ass beat by his friends or some stupid shit. Like that's this kind of movie. It going on for an hour and 40 minutes is something we coined in the fucking anime night. This is the longest 20 minutes of our lives when the anime was boring as shit. This was the longest hour and a half of my life. The longest, because it was so fucking bad and so fucking little entertainment value.
Yeah, no, I probably the thing is I would have guessed that was the case for you, Ganja. You do like some stupid shit.
I'm gonna go with the most effective way a critic can. Ditto.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the next thing over here, man. Pacing. Was it at least kind of quick as far as some other things going? Like, I mean,
pacing non-fucking existent. There's the reason I asked this man 6 times. Can you check the time? This was the longest hour and a half in a while, Diaz. In a while, man. And it's not because like the movie was like, oh, I'm just pissed off. I don't agree with this politics. I don't agree with the statements in this. No, it's like, man, even your fucked up jokes ain't fun, man. Come on. At least make it fun. It felt like work, bro. Like when Corey says like, yeah, man, when I see these movies sometimes and I don't want to see it and it feels like work, this is one of them. This is legit one of them. Like unless you're a film buff that really likes reviewing these films and checking them out, there's no reason for you to watch this film.
Yeah, and Alan, I'm pretty sure ditto for you, man.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, is this whole movie is trying to offend you, but it doesn't. There's not enough going on, so the pacing does feel very choppy and very slow and just very uneven. Because there's not enough racism, or at least not enough like consistent like pushing of the envelope or tearing the envelope up for you to actually like stay in the movie. Because like honestly, I'm surprised people aren't like the good thing they released on Amazon Prime Video. Because I guarantee you, if you look at the analytics at the time, I guarantee you about 45 minutes in, people just left. Not because they're offended, because they're bored. Because it just gets so fucking boring. If this is in theaters, I think I would have walked out because just because I have better things to fucking do than
I
just
would
to
ask
be
for my
bored.
money back. I firmly don't believe you should ask for your money back because you pay for a movie, you got to sit through it. It's like going to a carnival, man. Like not all rides are gonna be good, so you're not gonna bang your money back just because it was shitty. That's what you take a risk for. But not
Yeah.
this film. You can at least make a good film to a certain degree, man. Like an actual film. This is not. This is
I'm gonna ask you
propaganda
really quick.
all the way with bad dialogue.
I'm gonna ask you really quick too. If any of y'all say the dialogue was good, I'm gonna beat your ass. Dialogue though, Alan, I'm gonna start with you. Good, bad? What do you think?
Universally terrible from the very first. Because again, it's one of those things where writing and acting are separate. Because hey, the way it's written on the paper is not necessarily the way you're gonna act it. The problem with the writing is the writing's all terrible because all the advice sucks. Literally, a lot of the advice is be yourself and you're the problem. Get your shit together. That's all the advice. And so that's kind of funny if you're hearing that someone complain about their life and someone goes, "Man, get your shit together." But when you hear that's every fucking advice there, the writing is terrible.
I can't
So-
help doing, man. I lost my job. My wife's leaving me, and I think my brother slept with her. Girl, get your life together, man. The problem is you.
Yeah.
Literally says that to a person that is a white racist. Like that's probably the only scene I recommend people watch.
Plan to
'cause
kill
it's
the synagogue. See, the problem is you, baby. Yeah, the problem is I ain't got enough ammunition. Bye, lady. Yeah, tell him.
literally he solves racism with a white supremacist because he just kind of tells them about his life. It's the acting, and the acting is terrible too because it's universally bad, except for maybe the kid and a handful of the other actors. The main guy is so bad. He's so wooden that it's like the dialogue is all it's universally terrible. There's not a single good line of dialogue in this entire fucking movie.
And if you're mad at my black voice and the black dialogue I'm giving to it, do not watch this fucking film because what they actually give to the African American character is way fucking worse than what I'm doing.
Oh,
my
man.
god.
I'm literally doing situations where like black girls will come on and literally say, "Man, Laquisha is the best thing that's ever happened with the black African American
Oh, dude,
community."
it's hilarious.
Like-
They're having news stories of local radio host is making waves and getting people to watch this back. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking.
There was one point where they're like, they mentioned Oprah in dialogue, and I looked at Al and I was like, if this bitch is in this movie.
Yo, like we were watching with somebody else, and I go, yo, no, don't tell me they got fucking Oprah. Do not tell me. And I was like, nah, there's no way they got Oprah. That woman's a billionaire. Like,
You never
There's no
know. She ended up in strange fucking projects before.
I half expected them, because Oprah doesn't show up, so it's not a spoiler. I half expected them to splice footage in or something. Like, do you know sometimes they do that? We'll get like stock footage of Oprah, and be like, I got a great new guest for y'all, and they'll just kind of have him
It was
walking
fun
into
fact though that I love that they added Oprah as a character that they were gonna come onto her show because Oprah actually has something happen to her similarly. There was a guy on one of her early TV shows where he faked his whole memoirs and something about him being a druggie and him fucking up his life. He was actually a fuck up, but not the way he exaggerated in the story. And they just tore him apart. Like Oprah brought him on for the show and just tore into him talking about you lied to me and you lied to the audience. So I felt like that was kind of a little bit of old school jab at Oprah.
Yeah.
Man, you're giving them way more credit. I think they just thought it'd be kind of cool. Or, again, to be offensive, hey, let's have the most popular black entertainer on the planet, like accept us as a way to piss people off. Like, I think that's all
it was like they were on the board with like, so either Michelle Obama or Oprah.
It's like, we can't do Ellen because, it's not going to piss people off because it's Ellen, and Ellen
Right.
will do fucking anything. But Oprah, oh man, people are going to get so mad if we talk about Oprah. Like, that's all it is. Just try to write the most offensive movie possible, and halfway through, you wrote the script for Laquisha.
Yeah, and I'm looking over here, man. Innovation, presentation. Here's the thing: we always have two last categories for innovation: presentation and production, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring those things up is because of the fact that it's like even if something is a colossal piece of shit, sometimes when it comes to innovation, if it did something completely new that you've never seen it before, you cannot argue with the fact that it is something that you got to give it credit for. Have you guys seen anything like this before in your fucking life?
Yeah, on a Disney Channel television show called Radio Free Roscoe, a show I fucking loved, that actually had this exact same bit. He wasn't playing a black woman, but he's basically changed his voice to sound like a woman to give people advice. I've seen this fucking bit before. And what the episode was is one of the characters, like, he's just kind of sick of almost, again, like we were, he's basically sick of people just not knowing he exists and shit. So he basically, I think he calls himself Miss Personality. He just auto-tunes it and acts like a woman, starts giving people advice, actually good advice, not just this garbage here. And then it ends in almost the exact same way where he just realizes how fake he is. He then tells everyone, hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted to try something different. And I'm sorry for people that I offended. I was just trying to help in a different fucking way because he understood he's bad. This character never learns a fucking lesson in this movie at all. So
he never has he never has a moment where like someone he gave advice to never worked out because he was being just a cynical asshole at the time. And it's like, yo, man, you told me just like to blame me, but like I try to do everything and nothing gets better, man. Like my dad's got cancer, you know, my bills keep getting paid. Like the landlord's talking about selling the apartment complex, and I have nowhere cheaper to go. Like real problems out of people's control. It's always this personal stuff. Like that's why I'm saying this caters to the right wing because it really goes behind the idea of like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, man. There's no reason to cry, even though there's nothing affecting your life that's existential out of control, like most people actually have to deal with.
Yeah. So
but
yeah,
it's like we've seen this before. This isn't a new concept. Like I said, this could be an SNL skit. This can be a bit. I saw it on a Disney Channel movie fucking 10 years ago. So it's like I've seen this as a television show, and it worked way better. It was way less offensive.
So here's the thing, man. After we get done with this entire thing, I just want to let you guys know, score-wise, what y'all got it basically is Alan gave it a 1 out of 10, Ganja gave it a 0 out of 10. Man, I almost feel like I
don't you try to give this movie any goddamn shit. You watched like 3 scenes, motherfucker.
No, I know you're right, but it's just like this literally has to be probably the worst movie we've ever done on this show. Like literally the fucking worst. Like
no, because it didn't actively make me angry like Jurassic Park or Annihilation. This is
so
probably
you
the
would
worst
say
movie of this year.
Oh wait, hold on.
You might want to take that back.
Yeah, hold
Nah,
on.
I
You
stand
think
by my word.
Laquisha is better than Fallen Kingdom?
Oh no, you can't word it like that.
No, I'm trying to get to what you think.
That again, when I always so one of my major sins in movies is, are you boring me? This movie bores me the fuck. So is this the worst movie of this fucking year? Fuck yeah. Is this gonna be my number 1 worst movie of the year? I'd be surprised if something worse comes out this year. But I was more angry and vehemently ready to fight somebody after Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom because it was telling me I'm stupid. This is just boring as fuck. So that's, I'm not gonna sit here and say one is better or one is worse to placate into your bullshit. It's just I hated Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom way more.
Really quick, I'm just gonna fuck with you real quick.
Of course you are.
Which movie's worse?
They're both equally worse.
No, you gotta pick a favorite.
No, I don't.
No, this ain't.
I don't have your shit.
Get out of here.
No.
Okay, Ganja.
Actually, Ganja, honestly, what he just said was bad enough. I'm not even gonna push it. He said they're equally the worst.
Oh, no.
People,
Alan,
everybody in the chat, I was waiting for this moment. I was waiting for this
There's
moment.
no way to answer that question.
You did such a great review.
Like this.
You did such a great review.
Okay, Nick. What would you rather watch again, American Beauty or this movie?
American Beauty. Clearly.
So you're telling me, Loqueesha, you would rather sit through oh wait, I fucked that. God damn it. I didn't plan this out.
You didn't plan out any of those statements. Man, this movie's fucking trash. It's probably the worst movie I've seen this whole year. Like Endgame's made me mad, but it was a movie that moved, had flow, dialogue.
A movie that moved, yes.
I mean, I wasn't bored during Endgame, so yeah.
Endgame's way better than this. I take back that's not the worst movie I've seen this year. As a redactment on that statement, fuck Laquisha.
Yeah, 0 for him, 0 out of 10. For Alan, 1 out of 10.
Well, how did I give this movie a point? Oh, right, yeah, the intended audience. I was like, how did I give this movie a point? I don't remember that.
Man, you said worse, though. You said it's on the level of Fallen Kingdom, son. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Motherfucker.
That shit had dinosaurs, man. That was entertaining.
No,
Are you
take
sure
the
you wanna
subject
take that
matter
back?
out. Like, you're trying to fucking put me in a hole because of this movie being incredibly racially offensive and one movie just being fucking terrible. And you're trying to basically trying to say that I'm more offended at this bullshit dinosaur movie than this and trying to make me look bad. It's like, no, if you take the subject matter out, which is a worsely made film, yeah, Jurassic Park had way more money and way less opportunities to fuck up than this $5 fucking movie. That most of it is set in a fucking radio station. The other one is set in some fucking backroom closet and then his fucking house. Like, this movie had way less money, so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off at something that had way more money. But if you take the subject matter out, with the subject matter in, of course, Laquisha is a way worse fucking movie because it's way more offensive. Like, that's a loaded question you asked me.
Well, I'm just trying to get my win in, brother.
You watched the fucking movie. How about that first? Don't watch 3 fucking scenes and say, hey, the movie actually has good pacing.
I watched 9 scenes, sir, and they were long. But
weren't.
here's the thing: we're gonna do this very, very quick. There's a new movie that came out called The Perfection. the perfection. And I saw that trailer. Apparently, it came out yesterday. And the thing is, though, is when I watched the trailer, I was like, holy shit, that looks pretty cool. Nice little scary fucking theme there. You know, two girls walking down. One girl throws up a bunch of weird yellow pissy looking fucking throw up. Then she has bugs coming out of her arm. She chops her arm off. All this crazy shit's going on. I'm like, dude, I cannot wait for this. It's a horror movie thriller. Oh my god, I can't wait. It wasn't.
Oh, really? I haven't heard nothing but good.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and we'll talk about this in a bit. Jen, are you there?
Yeah, I was just thinking about how the sequel's gonna come out. It's gonna be him realizing that he's not actually like a real black woman. He's a mix between a white man and a black woman, so therefore he's Becky with the good hair.
My god, that'd be
What?
fucking terrible.
Anyway.
She's talking about Laquisha.
I'm
Yeah,
about to
I
say,
know,
are we
I
thinking
figured as
about
much.
Loqueesha? What the fuck?
I figured as much, but that still made my brain hurt.
Laquisha.
Loqueesha.
No, but here's the thing, man. So this fucking movie, I'm gonna talk about the premise really quick. The premise of this movie, and I could be wrong. That's why I have Jet here too, to kind of like hold me back and be like, no, it's this, dummy. But basically, there's this character played by Allison Williams. She's the girl that was the racist girlfriend from Get Out. And it's nice to see her again too. By the way, I was like, okay, well, is she ever gonna do something else after Get Out? And she is. She's doing it here. And she's with this girl, and I forgot the actress's name, but she's been in Dear White People, a couple other movies as well.
Yeah, she's the main girl in Dear White People, the TV version.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, her character in this movie is called Lizzie, and this is a movie, it's a Netflix original. So the thing is, though, you start off, and right away you're watching Allison walk around, just kind of like being somewhat of an trance. She's sitting next to her bed, her mom's dead right there, and then they do this really weird editing thing where every couple of seconds she'll just go "Ah!" and just scream to like, you know, jump scare you. Right, and I was like, okay, maybe this is a thing where she's going crazy, whatever the fuck, or, you know, maybe it's just the editing trying to like jump scare me because there's gonna be ghosts or something, or whatever the fuck. But then after that, it just becomes very, very chill because the premise of the movie basically is that this girl used to be a musician, used to be a cello player, and she just stopped for some reason.
Prodigy.
A prodigy.
Really, she's a cello player. I never would have fucking guessed based on the fucking Star Wars poster I'm looking at.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's like bashing into her fucking head. I was like, okay, like, is she gonna kill herself with it? Or I don't know what the hell's going on there. The thing is, though, is that, you know, she was really, really talented. She was considered the best of her kind or whatever. So it is what it is. But obviously, she's not doing it anymore. And as she's walking through the street and I forgot what foreign country they're in or whatever. But she's walking down the street and all these advertisements around her about this black girl, and her name's Lizzie, Elizabeth, something. And she's basically doing what this girl, the main character, wanted to do her whole life. And that's the only context we get. And that being the premise, it's like, okay, that's kind of an interesting premise. I actually like that premise. Jen, I'm going to ask you, getting into the movie and seeing that premise kind of unfold a little bit, did you find it interesting at all? Or were you already kind of ready to like, yeah, like you don't want to watch this?
Well, I mean, it was a movie you suggested, so I was already kind of like, I don't know.
Wait, because I suggested it?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I like good movies. I like Freddy Krueger. I like all the good horror movies.
He likes Freddy 6.
Yeah, I do. It's really good.
And Jason
actually.
X.
Yeah, they're really
And Halloween 3.
You always
Yeah.
want to make me watch something with some kind of twist or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and that's the thing about this twist. People just gonna be spoilers. Be ready for that. But the issue with the premise, and for me, the premise changes. I think. Like, I mean, the movie that we thought we were going to watch is not the same movie that we saw in the trailer, which is also not the same movie that this ends up becoming. So, and then if you read the description of the film, too, it literally tells you it's a twisty movie, which right away you see that word twist in the description. So now I'm expecting twists. It's like, why would you throw away your whole surprise factor and tell me it's a fucking twist? That's a bad idea. That's something dumb. That's like when you watch M. Night Shyamalan, and I don't know if you feel this way, Alan, but sometimes when you watch M. Night Shyamalan movies, the fact that you know there's going to be a twist kind of ruins the twist.
Not really, but I expected like the visit. I expected the twist to be just based on his own twist. I expected ghosts or some shit, but I was still surprised by the visit. So it's like, it can work if it's good. It has to be good though. Like especially with M. Night Shyamalan, like every movie he does that has a twist has to be a fucking good movie now. It can't just be based on a twist anymore.
Yeah, but based on that fact, like Jay, I'm gonna ask you, like, premise-wise, when it changed, I mean, did you like these different premises that I went with? Would you give this kind of like a thumbs up or a thumbs down based on what the premise was and what it became?
Honestly, no. It was honestly very, very bad. The transition that they had, like, it didn't work with how the movie started off and how it ended. It's just so fucking jarring how it actually happened. To it was just like, kind of sucked.
Yeah, and we'll get into why it sucked in a bit, but I will tell you, leading towards the end or whatever, and this is something where I will kind of talk about this again at the very end of our discussion. We get to innovation, stuff like that. But moving on from this, and targeted audience, I think the intended audience, I feel like if I was part of the audience that they wanted to see this, which I feel is the Hollywood crowd, people who like Darren Aronofsky, people who watch Requiem for a Dream, this would have been fucking amazing for me. I got to see naked girls. I got to see music being played on a big stage in front of a bunch of fucking assholes in suits. I got to see rape. Like, if I'm the intended audience for this, I would be one happy fucking pervert. So, Jack, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like the intended audience, presentation-wise, who do you feel it was for, and do you feel like those people were probably happy watching this?
I don't know who the fuck this was for. Like, if it was for her, like, horror movie fans or, like, some, like, fucking Hollywood asshole, like, or maybe, like, it feels like they tried to, like, mix together way too much and try to bring in, like, a whole bunch of different audiences, and it didn't work. Like, you think, like, oh, this is going to pull in the horror movie fans. Oh, this is going to pull in the thriller fans. Oh, it's going to pull in the LGBT crowd. Oh, it's going to pull in, people who are, like, for, revenge shit. Like, in the end, it just turned out like a big old, like, complete jumbled mess.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really sucks about this too, is that a big part of why this premise doesn't even work and why the intended audience is almost confused is because in the trailer, I think they're trying to get horror fans. They're like, yo, you seen like body horror, you're seeing like this girl chop her fucking hand off, so you're gonna see this. The thing is, like, that's not any different in the movie, and there's no more of that happens. It's literally.
I'm gonna say, like, they're like any intended audience that wanted to actually, like, who this was actually for, if they came for that certain thing, they'd be fucking bored out of their mind.
Yeah, I feel like that too. So, we'll differ in that. I feel like this, has so far won 2 points. You feel like maybe only one on this. So we're gonna differ a lot. Story-wise, character. I think that, honestly, the characters-wise, they didn't do a very good job. I feel like all we know about the character, because when the movie starts, she actually meets this girl that she's kind of like jealous of and whatnot, who actually got to, achieve all the dreams that, Allison wanted to achieve, right? So then she goes over there and they start talking, and right away they hit it off, and it's like, oh, cool. And they went to the same school together, so they know each other. There's always some kind of like basis of them knowing each other. I wish I would have seen more of those interactions when they were kids versus as adults, because as adults we get nothing other than, Elizabeth, the girl that Allison, the main character, is kind of so fond over and travel to go see. She just talks about being wed after hearing about some like bullshit going on with someone else's marriage, and then they go have sex. They have the cello playing in common and all that shit. They go and they fuck, and then the movie starts, and all the real big body horror stuff, all that shit literally just happens. There's no more interaction, and I don't know why these two characters are that close, because all I got was a lesbian sex scene, a makeout scene, a cello playing scene, which I knew I was going to get anyways. I mean, like Alan said, look at the fucking photo here. I mean, it's the girl's face is smashed into a cello. So I'm not surprised, and I don't think anything was progressing there with any of the characters. Jet, do you disagree with any of that?
It's really weird. Like, the two characters, honestly, they started out very, like, not one-dimensional, very, like, two-dimensional, like, starting out, especially, I'm pretty sure it was Lizzie, the black girl. She actually started out really, really interesting. Like, you would think, oh, like, the main character, like, Charlotte, I think her name was, the girl who was in, was it Get Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think she'd be more interesting, because it's just like, yeah, something's obviously going on with this girl. Like, she has something planned. You would think she's way more interesting. Like, because that's how it starts out. Something's going on between these two because, like, of how, like, that one scene went on in the beginning of how they passed each other on the stairs going to practice or whatever, and how Charlotte left because her mom died. That's another thing. They never explained why the mom thing was so important. Why was that so important?
Yeah, I really do not know, and they don't explain, like, was the mom like abusive as well? Because you find out later on that the people that taught these two to play cello, they've been raping them systematically. Right?
Yeah, so he's a pedophile rapist. Because what he does like some what was it? What was that movie with the and then Not My Tempo?
Oh, Whiplash.
Yeah, he tries to do some Whiplash shit, but with some extreme fucking like pedophile like overtones, to where like he's inviting other people to basically like sit in and basically like rape these girls if they like make one mistake or some shit. And like you sort of maybe think that's what's going on at the beginning, and then nothing in the middle, and then it all just suddenly just comes crashing in that last part. Just like, okay, yeah, like we probably should have had a bit of that in like each like fucking like area, beginning, middle, and end. But no, beginning, and whoa.
Yeah, it
And
was
so like going
insane.
yeah, going back to the characters, like Charlotte, she was honestly so fucking boring, and she was a terrible fucking actress too. Like she was good in Get Out because like that's how her character was supposed to be and everything. And here it's just like, why the fuck is this girl so indie? Because like I guess the whole prodigy thing is basically like the whole like, oh, it's her personality. Like the whole prodigy thing is her personality because that's the only reason why Lizzie or whatever her name was actually likes her, because she has nothing going on because she's so boring. But the thing is, you think she's two-dimensional because she obviously thinks like, because you obviously know like there's something that she thinks about this girl. Maybe she's jealous, maybe she wants her spot back, something like that. Teacher, completely fucking boring. His wife, completely fucking boring. And
Yeah,
it's like when that middle part actually comes up, it's just like, okay, maybe there's more to these characters. No, while Lizzie does get more interesting, like in like from the beginning to middle, at the end they're both so fucking one dimensional and boring. While like Charlotte was interesting in the beginning, sort of, gets boring near the end, and even more boring towards the end. Well, boring towards the middle, and then way more boring towards the end.
yeah, and that's the thing too is like you get like little spots too where you feel like Lizzie, the girl on the left, the black girl, you think that maybe she's gonna get kind of interesting somewhat because in the middle of the movie she is going through shit. She's been fucked over by the white girl. The girl you said Charlotte, that's her name.
Yeah, I think
She's
so.
already getting screwed over by Charlotte. So you would think like, oh shit, so the main character of the movie is actually the villain now. So let's see what happens. But then that whole like chase of her like I'm gonna get revenge ends within 5 minutes, and then she's back to being a no lines at all having ass. I'm gonna sit to the side and let the rest of the movie continue while I just don't matter anymore. And it's like, dude, the most interesting thing you guys did is make her naked. Like that's the only thing you did. She has no character. She has good acting inside of like I mean they're touring and they're on this bus and she's having these weird like visions and whatnot and she's banging her head into a fucking window. But the thing is you see that in the trailer. You see her cut her arm off in the trailer. So it's like all that stuff. And it's not what you think it is, by the way. Like in the trailer, you think it's about bugs and like maybe some kind of virus going around. It's nothing like that. Oh, she takes some pills and it makes her hallucinate, because the white girl is making her hallucinate so she can chop her hand off to fuck up her entire career as a cello artist. But the thing is, though, is that you're sold that this is gonna be a body horror movie. It's not. It's just one bitch fucked over the other one. But then the other one's gonna fuck her over back. But then they both team up at the end and fuck over the main baddie, who you only seen him for 10 minutes. What the fuck is this movie? It's like story is it's so just all over the place. And
They
it's
tried
because
to be more than one. They tried to be more than one thing at once, and it fuck it becomes like a once again a big fucking jumble mess. You tried to be fucking Handmaiden. You tried to be like something from like fucking Black Swan. You tried to be fucking Get Out.
yeah. I mean, it's so much. This is a love letter to Darren Aronofsky. Like they love his shit. I mean, lots of it, even the trailer, it's shot like the Mother trailer. And Alan, I know that if you saw the trailer to this, you'd probably be irritated because it's just like Mother.
Well, probably wouldn't call it the violin because it's a fucking musical horror movie, but I call it the pacing. I'm sure the pacing was fucking like a bunch of screaming and a bunch of fucking hypercuts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, man. Like looking at this, as far as emotion too, there's parts where I'll give it a point for emotion. Absolutely. There's parts where I'm a guy who I love music a lot. So when the cello was playing, I was like, my heart was like kind of revving up, and I was like, oh, I'm loving this. And then, granted, they kind of fucked it up having the sex scenes in the middle of like a music playing. And I called that shit before it even came up. I was like, I knew it was gonna happen because Darren Aronofsky does this all the fucking time, and they're doing it again. But I fell for it. I got it. And then Lizzie, her character, and I forgot the actress again. I don't know her name, but the girl on the left, she is such an amazing actress. Like for what they give her, man. Like, and I don't know if you agree with this, Jet, but like, does she not make you feel something just by her acting and how fucking amazing she was at that?
No, like she's a good actor, but I honestly didn't feel anything for the character.
Okay, because I mean, for me, I don't know. When it comes to really good acting, and I don't say shit about acting because I don't really care about acting usually. I'm a writer, so I enjoy writing. I enjoy storylines, story arcs. But she took me out of that mindset, and I cared about how she was reacting to shit, and it really really worked for me. But then at the same time, when you got to the end of the movie, there's a part where when these two get the revenge on the bad guy, you're probably thinking like, okay, this is gonna be emotional for me because I want this bad guy to get killed. He's a pervert. He's a rapist. I can't wait. They play rap music. It's like,
Of course they do.
yeah, I'm gonna chop your dick off.
In an
Oh my
orchestral
God.
horror movie with cellos, they play rap music with synthetic beats. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it comes out of fucking nowhere. Basically, like, so the wife was in on all the like the child rapings too and whatever and all that. They stab her and then basically they're just standing by the fucking door and then all of a sudden the rap music starts playing and she's like, this shit came out of fucking nowhere. And also, let me say something else about that scene. How the fuck you got two people with knives and shit, one dude with no knife, and how does he beat both your asses?
You're really
What?
bad at fighting with knives, then.
Like,
Yeah.
like both of them came in basically just like, yeah, we're gonna get you. Lizzie gets knocked out. So does fucking Charlotte.
Off camera,
somehow.
by the way.
To where they lose
Oh,
their
wow.
fucking knives. They lose their fucking knives. Like, and then Lizzie just on the ground like, Charlotte, stab him, because she's having like some sort of like imagination going on or some shit, some like hallucination or something. To where it's just like, damn, you're just having to like fucking Lizzie do all the work. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're hardly even fucking stabbing him. To where they had to do that whole thing where, oh, we gotta reach for the knife, we gotta fight or whatever. The last fucking bloody, like, actual, like, horror scene is basically her losing, like, grabbing the fucking knife because she's so, like, fucking slow. Like, really, bitch? This dude's been stabbed multiple times and, like, you're that fucking slow that you can't pick up the fucking knife that's on the ground, or basically you're so in fucking La La Land that basically you let her get the shit beat out of her.
Yeah.
He
On top of
basically
that, too.
stabs her fucking arm and basically drags it and, like,
He basically
cuts
does.
it open.
Yeah, and basically renders that particular arm, that limb, as useless as Lizzie when she chopped her hand off. So now you guys can put this together. They're both cello players. They both lost the opposite. Like she lost the left arm, the other girl lost the right
One
arm.
person's gonna fucking play one side. They're gonna join together and be a
Yep.
fourth.
Yep.
There you go. And that's how the movie ends. They do it in front of his
No,
dead
no,
body.
you forgot something major. Basically, the dude didn't actually die. What they did is
Oh yeah.
they stripped him naked, cut off all his limbs, put him on some sort of life support thing, and basically he's moving
Sorry.
around his fucking cut limbs and shit in the chair watching them play like their fucking one arm fucking cello.
Oh, and guess
Sorry,
what?
put him on a life support system? That's an insanely complex medical procedure. What do you mean put him on a life support
That
system?
sounds already. I don't know. Like the thing is, like they had like that bag or what, like the bag or whatever.
IV?
Yeah, they had the IV connected to him and shit like that. Just that. And
An
I'm
IV?
like, to
Oh
his,
my god.
to his mouth, and then he's basically just moving like they chopped him off, like they chopped his arms off, like and his legs to I would say like above the knee, and basically
Sewed it and everything. Like, but the thing is, like,
So-
someone would have died from that though. Like, it's like they cut off so much, Alan. Like, I'm telling you, like, you knowing the human body, etc., the way you do.
That's
this
why I'm
is-
face palming right now,
It's
because
sinful. Like, it's
even
so.
if you get past, the blood loss, you still have the shock of and the pain of losing those limbs, which would give you a heart attack. And it's shoving an IV in there is not going to solve your problem. The IV is because you're a lack of fucking electrolytes in your fucking system, not because you lost various limbs, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, and then the worst part about it too is that the whole movie, because you're probably wondering, like, okay, well, the movie's called The Perfectionist, so what's it about? No, so them together combined, they play this song, and it's called The Perfectionist, and that is what the
Oh, this is some whiplash shit then.
Yeah, oh, but here's the thing. Here's what's more crazy is that the song called The Perfectionist, the whole thing that this is based on, when they finally play it the right way at the end and they do it perfectly, we don't get to hear it.
You know what? Oh man, you know what this
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of, man. Do you remember Sucker Punch?
I didn't watch it because I was like, fuck that, everyone's talking shit about it and whatnot. But yeah.
It's a bad movie, but basically what it is it's kind of reminds me of the situation in which like there's a bunch of these girls that are working for this dude, and they don't really show, but it kind of implies he abused them, maybe not sexually, but he abused the fuck out of them. And in order for this woman to kind of like deal with it, she starts dancing, and she's supposed to be a great dancer, but every time she dances, it goes into the crazy CGI action scenes, and then it
Mhm.
cuts back to the real world. This reminds me so much of Sucker
no,
Punch.
they didn't even do that. Like all this shit actually just takes place in real fucking time. Like except for basically the hallucinations that happen basically because fucking Charlotte. Oh, do we even explain the reason why Charlotte was even like poisoning fucking Lizzie? What happened was she saw like a certain tattoo on Lizzie's shoulder, and that tattoo basically is a symbol like, oh, she became like perfect for like the perfect cello player, like a prodigy or whatever. So basically, she went through the same sexual abuse and everything that Charlotte went through.
Yeah.
So basically, her whole plan was she talked to her outside to see, because like it's obvious that Lizzie was basically into her like the first moment she saw her and stuff like that. And basically, she's talking to her and she's just like, "Oh my god, she doesn't want to leave this dude," because I guess like everyone who becomes a prodigy and stuff like that actually lives with the professor or whatever, or the music
yeah.
teacher.
This part sounds like R. Kelly level shit.
It really
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So basically, like they live with them or something like that, and then she's talking to him just like, "Oh well, I can't wait to take a vacation and everything like that. Getting away from him would be so like getting away from like all the cello playing and this teacher would be like so great and everything like that. But I can never actually leave. Like it means too like it's too important to me. Like I've basically been through like it's my whole life, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And so basically, Charlotte realizes from that talk, like, oh, she's too indoctrinated. There's nothing I can do to basically convince her that this dude's bad. So basically, they have sex with each other. Lizzie invites her to a mountain or whatever, Mount something. And during the whole I guess Lizzie has a hangover the next day, and basically, her like Charlotte's ass decides, oh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna develop a plan, feed her like a whole bunch of hallucination pills, and keep talking about bugs the entire time, and like set her off by saying, "Oh, you got bugs on you," or "Oh, like eating this certain thing like will you might get bugs in you or something like that." Because what gives her the idea is basically like at a certain concert they were playing earlier, like they were like the music teacher like was trying to decide, oh, who his next prodigy would be with a music contest.
Yeah,
And
and somebody
one of
there
the
was getting sick, and then they basically passed out, threw up, all this weird shit, and now right away, everyone's talking about this thing of like, there's this fucked up place down south of this country, and they're all getting sick. So now Charlotte knows that Lizzie is having that in the back of her fucking head, all paranoid, like, am I gonna get sick too? Because I was there as well. And she's bringing this up as she's talking about bugs, as she's giving her hallucinant pills, and then
Hallucination pills.
yeah, hallucination pills. And then on the top of it too, they even show something of like, there's like a flashback of like how she did this to her mom, but they only tell you that at the end. The whole movie does this thing too, where they like to go back and forth like Pulp Fiction, where they'll do something and you're like, oh, I can't believe that happened. And it's like, wait, we have a twist, and they rewind it like Requiem of a Dream. They rewind it, literally have the rewind sound, and they go back to something. It's like, oh, here's another part of that scene that you saw earlier, except we're going to show you the full scene now because there's going to be context. It's like, fuck, it's just like Handmaiden, where you see pieces of the sex scene and then they just go like, well, there was more that happened there, but we're not going to show you that until we show this scene again later after we show you context to why they're having sex. But like this, it does it for the whole pill thing. And it's funny, Jet, when you brought that up as well, because there's a certain point where you even called it out. You're like, dude, why do you keep taking all these pills? Because she's asking for ibuprofen and she gives her these big ass green pills. I've never seen ibuprofens that look like these huge ass scary looking fucking pills, dude. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, because I was gonna say they're mostly like chalk white. Like maybe if you want to take an Advil, because those are kind of liquid green sometimes, and you
Yeah.
could just like
Yeah.
say like you could easily say, hey, give me an Advil, or give me something that's the whatever the fuck thing for Advil that's a generic, and then it's like, okay, that looks kind of green, but that's it though.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
and the
felt
thing is-
they're giving that girl fucking acid.
Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, like, she even said, like, oh, is this a good idea to be taking this on an empty stomach? Oh, no, well, it's better than nothing. Okay. Goop, goop, goop,
And
goop.
takes a bunch too, and then that lady, the girl that has given her the pills, is like, no, take like 5, take like 6. And it's like, dude, right now you're so villainous that you're like trying to kill her, because even like regular type pills would fuck up your liver or do something bad to you taking that many if they were
Yeah,
like-
you're literally not supposed to take fucking more than, especially with ibuprofen. She should know you're not supposed to take fucking more than like 6 during a fucking
That's gonna be
24-hour
her
period.
last. Fucking, I was about to say earthquake headache.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and basically the whole, like, middle part of the movie takes place on this, like, fucking bus in China. And basically, like, Charlotte's basically telling, like, Lizzie, who's basically going crazy because, like, she's, like, mixed a whole bunch of different things in her stomach. Alcohol, these hallucination pills. And she also, like, I think she had some sort of raw soup with it, like, the day before, maybe. Maybe that was the same day. Like, but it was, like,
Yeah.
soup, so she basically really didn't eat much of it. So like it's still basically kind of on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And
So
she's basically going crazy saying like, oh, my stomach hurts, I need to take a shit, I need to puke, over and over, while all these people on the bus that don't understand her except like one person. The bus driver's getting all fucking annoyed and shit. And when she finally like starts puking and shit, Charlotte's just like, oh my god, is that bug in your puke? And then
yeah.
basically like, because of the hallucination pills, like what we see are fucking like a whole like ton of fucking maggots just in like this yellow fucking puke.
Yeah.
What are you eating that your puke is yellow?
Exactly, yeah, and it's because of the pills, and I don't know, that's what's so fucking weird about it too, because the thing is, like, and that progresses into the whole thing of like, okay, we're gonna progress past these scenes where she's like, oh my god, guys, shit, and she's shit on the bus too, she gets kicked out of the bus, they're stuck in the middle of nowhere, she's still shitting outside, the bugs are going through her fucking arm,
And
the whole thing.
that's still not realistic because like, okay, they're like, Charlotte also puts together that like she's like on her phone like, oh my god, there's no signal. No one else on that fucking bus had a phone. No one else on that bus had a phone.
No
They
one to
couldn't
deal
check.
with her.
No,
Yeah.
like the thing is, they were trying to help. Like they were giving her water, like giving her different food and stuff like that. No one on that bus had a phone. Even the dude that basically could speak some English didn't actually say like, "Yeah, I got service. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly.
because that's a really old problem that doesn't. It depends on where you are. If you're in bumfuck nowhere, maybe. But that's really an old problem where we don't really have that issue anymore. You might have shit reception, but for the most part, you have enough reception to get a fucking phone call, especially an emergency call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like 20 people on that fucking bus, and the bus driver just throws them out like, yeah, no, first of all, like, no, you're not gonna fucking do that. People would go and, like, people would
Actually, no,
basically.
they would. I actually was literally in a situation with someone I think took a piss on the bus, and he just stopped the bus and said, "Hey, we're gonna get you
But
off."
was it in like a populated area or somewhere like they could
Yeah.
walk close to? Yeah, so the thing is, they left her basically in the middle of nowhere, miles away from town.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when it comes to that, that progresses to the point where like instead of seeing them like get away from the area, which they can't do that because they'll, show you that contextually, like they're not really enemies, and she was trying to help her out, etc. And you learn that later on. But they'll rewind back to this part. In a later scene. But it's like when we get to that particular situation, though, it's like it progresses like where she's out of nowhere, she's just right back at home complaining about, oh my god, Charlotte drugged me, she did this and she did that. I'm like, man, can we have seen your initial reaction to like when you found out that was the case? But no, you can't do that because we had to rewind back because you didn't see that. That happens so much, so I can't even give this points for fucking progression. It's like when it comes to that, you degress every single time you progress, and that's what's frustrating with me too. Moving on from that too, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me on that, Jet. But like on this main thing too, entertainment value. I mean, was there parts in here where you felt like it was kind of entertaining in the sense of like you enjoyed the cello playing, you enjoyed the dialogue, you enjoyed, even the somewhat actiony parts in the film?
Uh, Once again, like the first part and the second part, honestly, were actually pretty interesting when it came to like dialogue and entertainment. Cause like the thing is, like they actually had like some conversations that basically made you go like, oh, what's gonna go on from here in the first part, and in the second part, like basically you had all the stuff with the bugs and everything like that, and everyone trying to figure out what's going on, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like as far as those two things, you give it points for, and I agree with that too. Pacing wise, I gotta say, didn't enjoy the pacing a whole lot. That pacing was fucking trash. I really did not like the fact that, as far as pacing goes, you would do something that would move really, really fast, then have really boring moments, and then move super fast again. Where it's like, if you just stopped rushing shit, and then had maybe add another 10 minutes to the end of this movie or something, you could have maybe cared the entire time. But instead, I'll be bored yawning. I'm like, all right, time to move on. Oh shit, what the fuck happened? That's crazy. Oh man, that's some boring shit.
I mean, I wish I could get that from the ending.
Okay.
That's really weird too. Like you'd think like the climax would be like the most interesting part with the most happening. It's just like it's just not interesting because the thing is you basically call it happening after like the end of the middle part. So it's just like, oh, I mean, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing with the pacing. I'm pretty sure you don't give that a point at all for just that particular thing you just mentioned right now
With the
too.
sound of it, that was like fucking poor pacing it up like, all the way.
Now, innovation-wise, presentation. Do you feel like there was anything done in the presentation of this jet that felt like you've never seen that before?
No, I've seen this like it. This movie basically takes from multiple different movies, so I gotta say every single movie that it took from like I've seen before. So no.
Okay. But yeah, for me, I will say I haven't seen a story like this yet. I gotta give it a point for the story. I feel like the
You
story.
haven't seen Handmaiden?
I've seen Handmaiden, and I feel like,
Have you seen Black Swan?
Have you seen? There's a bunch of movies in which someone's poisoning someone over the course of a movie to basically get back at them as they're fucking up. Like I can think of a few movies right now that
Have you seen that one movie
trend.
with the dress? With the dude who basically makes dresses?
I thought you were talking about the one that's either gold or blue,
Oh yeah,
depending on
yeah.
your perception.
Or
I forgot the name of it.
Phantom Thread.
Yeah, have you seen Phantom Thread?
I have. The thing is, like, those are similar to this as far as like the filmmaking part of it and how it looks. As far as story, here's the thing about story and these characters. It starts off with I think that she's a main character and she's a good guy, right? And then within 15 minutes she's a bad guy. But then 20 minutes after that she's the good guy again. But then the person that I thought was originally the good guy in the middle, where I thought the main character was bad, now she's good. And the guy, the main bad guy who I thought was good the entire time and wasn't going to be a main character, is now the main character and he's bad. But then the good and the bad girls get together and now they're both the good guys who land at the end. Like, dude, holy shit. Like, this was a whole 6 months of WWE writing made into
I was
1
about to say,
hour.
right in by the Big Show.
Yeah,
no,
thank you so much.
That sounds ridiculously awful. Like I feel like there's something similar, but I can't say it off the top of my head. Where it's like, hey, this person that kind of looks like the bad guy kind of just joins up to help deal with the other bad guy. I mean, that's the fucking first raid where like one of the fucking bad guys joins to help the other bad guy out. Like I just from what y'all are describing, I don't know, man.
Yeah, because for me, what I'll say as far as that goes, because I'm giving it a point for that. I'm giving it a point for dialogue. I'm giving it a point for the action. I'm even giving it a point for just like the premise. I think
You're
the
even
premise.
giving
Was
it a point for dialogue?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, Charlotte was annoying with a lot of the stuff that she was saying. I really did not like her dialogue with the cussing. That was some of the most whitest cussing I've ever heard in my life. You motherfucker! Fuck you!
No, it was more like, stop the fucking bus.
Stop it.
Valley Girl got it.
Basically, but at the same time, though, I think Lizzie did really, really good.
Those bugs? Oh
They're-
my god, those are bugs.
I don't know, if I gave Alan some very powerful acid and he started seeing some bees, I think he'll do the same thing.
Actually, I was thinking about that the other day.
What?
Wait, hold on, you did acid without me? I'm hurt.
No, I was thinking about if you tried to do some stupid shit, how I would deal with it.
I've always this is the thing I'm throwing Alan with. I'm never really gonna do to it because one, I don't know if the motherfucker's allergic to bees, and that's something you should really write off on a checklist before you do a stunt like this. The one from Jackass where he gets stuck in that room, that limo full of bees,
I'll be right
and
back.
they steal it for a second. I want to do that to Alan, but I feel like that'll be the final of both whatever series we're doing and our friendship.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be the end of your life, man. I would like feral viciously.
I'll let you get a few punches and kicks in. I'll be generous.
No,
but
dude, feral. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm gonna do. I'm just like fucking Wolverine rage. Like motherfuckers have to hold me back as I'm fucking clawing at them to get to you. Like
Jay, he's gonna jump on me like the fucking the one dude from New York's reunion special where he jumps over halfway across the stage.
oh fuck yeah, like I'm like fucking feral. Someone's gonna have to knock me out to fucking calm me down.
So Alan, you tied up now. What do you think?
Better not let me out or I'll kill you. Be some Hannibal Lecter shit as they fucking try to wheel me out. Like I think Nick had to pop out, so we're gonna
Well,
keep.
that was the series finale of the Ganja and Alan show. Y'all be back next week. Hopefully, the motherfucker will find my
Wait,
address.
what are you talking about?
We were doing a bit while you
Yeah.
left.
You left us
okay.
hanging dry, so we went to our like Comedy Central.
I
routine.
literally told you be right back because the
Yeah,
the
that's
door
why
was
we were
not-
doing our bit.
Yeah.
Oh well, you acted like you don't know what the fuck I'm at, like a motherfucker. Like
Well,
I
we
didn't
didn't
just
know where the
jump
fuck
out.
you're at, but we knew you left, so we did a bit.
I don't know. I
okay.
just heard you dropping shit, man. That's rude for the podcast. It hurts people's ears.
What? All right. Anyway,
That's it.
all I'm saying, you're fucking stupid, y'all. But no, like for me, and unfortunately, I didn't do the math on this shit at all. But I feel like I'm gonna at the end of this, I'm gonna say that I like this more than Jet did because right away I was sold by the trailer and I wanted to watch this. Jet, I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but do you think that part of the reason why you didn't like some of the things is because you weren't interested in watching this anyways? You kind of gotta be in a mood to watch it.
No, absolutely not. Like, this isn't handmaiding. You cannot be handmaiding. You don't have the range. You're not Black Swan. You don't have the range. You're not fucking Whiplash. You don't have the fucking range. Like everything that they tried to do from these movies, they failed at because the thing is, those movies actually had a pretty good reason to do those things and stayed with that certain thing. This one just goes in so many fucking different directions that it's once again a mess.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable. Like the main part that I actually enjoyed was the beginning part because it was like, oh, maybe this isn't going in the direction I see because like these two seem like lovers, but I was just holding on to this little tiny bit of hope that it's not gonna be like some fucking this white bitch is basically gonna like terrorize this black girl because she wants her spot. No, but she does cut off her fucking hand for basically.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
No, she does basically cut off her hand to basically make her seem like to basically make her not be able to play the fucking cello anymore. It's just like, okay, basically out of nowhere, you pull out this fucking machete and shit, hand it to her, just like, oh, these bugs are all crawling out of your arm and shit because you're hallucinating. And that I caused. You know what to do now. Here, chop your own hand
Here,
off.
you've seen the Saw movies, like.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
that.
just like, really, bitch? You couldn't like have a hammer or something like that, or basically really injure her to where like she might not be able to play for a while or something like that. Like, no, you had to have her like chop her own fucking hand off herself.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you could have had her see the fact that this dude was basically taking complete advantage of her, that she was being raped and everything like that. But you went to basically having her cut her own fucking hand off.
This
Like,
sounds garbage as hell.
Bitch!
I don't
Like,
even know.
This is why I like Handmaiden more. Neither of the girls basically harmed each other in the process of it and basically realized, yeah, they're both being fucking abused. They realized what was the fuck was going on. And they don't harm each other in the process like that. They basically get back at their abusers big time and they still end up happy at the end. They don't have their abusers basically still alive basically on life support going like, ooh, while they play fucking one-handed fucking like cello and shit.
Which is
Like,
not life
and the thing
support.
is, that's not gonna help nothing because where the fuck are they gonna go? They killed, I think they killed like what 5 people in there. They killed 5 people. Where the fuck are they gonna go?
Listen,
Like,
I got no answers for that. Okay? I don't have any answers for that. But I will tell you, you saying that this movie is not the same goddamn thing as fucking Handmaiden, and that's better.
what are they gonna do? They're gonna flee the fucking country with both of them basically bleeding out, fucking with their bloody ass fucking hands and shit. They're gonna go to the fucking airport and go home.
No, they're gonna put themselves on life support.
Like they do realize there's like multiple girls living in that house, and basically when they come downstairs, they're gonna see all that fucking bloody mess. And who was at the house? Oh, Lizzie and Charlotte. And you know what? They also played cello down there too before they left too. I heard it. Like, what this shit was not through.
And
Those
officially,
bitches are
people,
going to fucking jail.
and unfortunately, people, and officially, here we are with a score. That's what it is. Nick 4 out of 10, and Jet 3 out of 10. I did the math while you were talking, and here's the thing. I'm actually a little bit bummed that that's where we're at with this because I gotta tell you, and this is why I like the new range system, even though we got some more work to do on this fucking thing. But it's just like I felt like the movie was better than a 4 out of 10. I really actually kind of enjoyed it. I don't know what the fuck.
Did
Jet-
you enjoy it? 'Cause you
No,
spent
the
the
thing
whole
is,
movie
like,
talking shit.
it seemed like you actually hated this more than me because I didn't say anything while you were actually expressing like very, very like great distaste for it. Just like the beginning, I think you actually really didn't like because you were calling out stuff. The middle is where I think you actually liked it, and basically, I'm pretty sure both me and you basically realized, oh, this is the direction this fucking movie's going.
Yeah, there's
It
a
wasn't
certain
even
point.
that good predictability either. It was just like, okay, what are you gonna do with this now that it's obvious that we know? It's
Yeah.
the most boring revenge I've ever fucking seen.
Trey saying I've been
Wait,
yelling.
hold
I
on.
can't-
Oh, even worse than that Tyler Perry movie you watched that you fucking hate?
Oh yeah, acrimony.
Yeah.
It's really fucking bad. You would think basically a rapist pedophile, like him getting what he like deserves, would be way more interesting to watch. No, it was actually really fucking boring, and the way they did it was so fucking stupid. Like, these two dumb bitches can't take down one dude, two knives, one dude, both get knocked out.
One dude, two knives.
Two knives, one door. Two knives,
Just like,
one
fuck, I
door.
can take him out
Well,
with two.
I
Give me
was
two
doing some
knives. and just
reggae
run
shit.
in.
You just went to like Asian stereotype marketplace shit, Nick.
That's
Wait,
'cause
what
Nick
the
doesn't
fuck?
know how to do an accent.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Two knives, one knife.
Oh yeah, and then you do it again. That's real fucking smart.
Hey,
man.
'cause
Honestly,
I'm
I
not
think there
gonna
were
let my
fucking three
brother
knives because
die.
I think the one girl on the fucking ground was holding like one knife, and then she was like knocked out because I guess he stabbed her or some shit. And then somehow there's another knife on the floor, like, and I guess like Charlotte was also holding the knife. Like, whose knife is that? When did he grab the knife? When did he get the knife knocked out of his hand? Whoa! I forgot to tell you guys, we don't actually see the stabbing. All the like gruesome stuff that like happens in this movie, we really don't get to see. Like her cutting off her, like Lizzie cutting off her hand, we don't see. The only gruesome thing we see is basically the dude like getting the fucking knife from fucking Charlotte because somehow this bitch is too slow to basically grab a fucking knife that's on the floor, despite the fact this dude's been stabbed multiple times and she hasn't. She just fucking fell or some shit. We see the knife go through her, like her arm, and that's the big. That's actually, honestly, the big fucking gruesome scene in this movie. That's it. You won't get anything else.
You really won't.
And even then, that wasn't even really much anyway. That was honestly really fucking boring.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like we're done, but it's just like, if you guys really do like seeing that shit, and I'm saying this in the sense of like, if you're a big fan of Hollywood, if you're a big fan of like really weird editing, really weird like crazy like, I mean, dude, like they literally do like real time rewind. It's fucking silly. It's like a
This movie
VHS
has
tape.
so many fucking flaws with it, but a lot of people are going to be blinded by that because one, it is a revenge movie. Like everyone loves a good revenge movie, and basically it's selling itself on being like horror and fucking kind of like thrillerish.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not going to see the fact like this movie has a ton of flaws, and it's actually honestly pretty stupid.
Yeah, Token Pop saying is there any nudity in film? Yeah, but
Yeah,
you.
there's
like-
a sex scene between the two
That's
girls.
his only question. Is there any nudity in the film?
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
there need to be shown?
no, it's just like honestly, and even like the lesbian relationship, I was like kind of interested. I was like, okay, you know what? Like for one, the sex scene was not only hot, but like it wasn't gross. Like I can't stand sex scenes. Sometimes I get really really irritated, especially when I'm trying to enjoy the fucking cello playing. They're like trying to fuck each other. It's like annoying, but it's like it was done in the right way. It's like I can imagine that these two afterwards are really gonna love each other. Like it could be the beginning of a nice little relationship thing. Like you know, and they're not emphasizing like the lesbian shit, like fantasizing or fetishizing it. It's just like no, these two people like each other and they're gonna go have sex. You know, very simple. It's like I'm glad that it's not the whole gimmick that they're lesbian. It's finally just no, these are two people who care about each other. But then it just ends. It's just over. It's like what the fuck was the point? That was so unnecessary. That sex scene didn't change a fucking thing. That had nothing to do with what happens in this movie. It's like it's that fucking weird pervert shit where someone filmed it and they're like, oh, I'm gonna make sure.
Reverts.
Yeah, I hate that shit about Hollywood, man. I really hate when guys will do that and force girls to fucking do this weird shit, and guys too. They force both genders, and it's just for weird, just grossness, just to turn on that guy like fucking Toki Pop in the chat who's like, oh, is there titties? Like, yeah, you fucking pervert, there is. You know, why don't you look up some fucking Pornhub or something? Jesus. Anyways.
Yeah, that's what I always found weird nowadays. Oh man, we're gonna sell this movie on sex when pornography is a Google search away.
No, it's like every sex scene. And I know Jay likes to give me shit about this, but it's like every sex scene ever now in movies, it's like you're only doing half what you should be doing. Like no matter what, automatically you suck because there's better than you out there. Like there is a hardcore to the softcore, so you're just giving me shit porn.
The thing about with movie sex is it has to be done in a way like you care about both the characters having it. Like think about this, like if you had a TV show and you were rooting for like two people to get together, you do actually want them to have sex to basically like confirm like, oh hey, they have a thing going. This is great. With porn it's just like yeah, they're just doing it. There's no feeling into it. You're just getting off and going. With sex in like movies and TV shows, it's just like you're supposed to be like you're happy for them most of the time. Feel a connection with these characters.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing: we're gonna get the fuck out. I know everyone's talking about AEW. I'm so curious about this. So in the after hours, if you guys want to come on and talk about it, whatnot. I'm not seeing no CM Punk though. I'm a little upset, but we'll talk about that in the after hours. After hours is next though. We're doing that shit right now. But you know what we're not doing right now, but we do that sometimes, huh? You wanna know? Who's gonna go first? It's gonna be you, Mr. Gorgeous. Hey, how you doing?
I wonder who he's talking to.
Not you, ugly motherfucker.
Fine, I see how it fucking is.
Oh, okay, we'll make you go at first. Oneofus.net, what you do over there, okay? So everyone can see your sexy mug.
Yes. So yeah, if you go to oneofus.net and look at the Screener Squad, you'll see a lot of you'll see my name on there and a lot of stuff. We recently just did I See You Yesterday, which was actually a surprisingly good time travel movie, and another one, We Always Lived in a Castle, which is a colossal pile of shit. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff coming up in the next couple of days. I'm also going to be doing the Breakfast Club tomorrow with Justin, so keep an eye on that for the next couple of days. That's gonna be up.
Okay, I hate to do this really quick. This is more so than a plug. Look, I'm gonna forget because we're about to go in the afterwards. We're gonna talk about a bunch of shit, right? I hate talk shit about your site. I really do. But Alan, right now, I want you to walk me through live on the fucking show. Where is the Breakfast Pub? And like navigate this site for me. Like, where can I find it?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
I tried to because I wanted to listen to it. It's subscriber only, but I still also don't know where to find it.
Look, I just want to say I'm glad you're in one of the main shows because God, you'll be lost in that shuffle.
Yeah, like what? Like Chris Cox. I can't find your shit.
Okay.
Chris Cox, your website sucks dicks.
I want to watch it. I want to watch One of Us. I like the guys behind it, especially my boy Alan. I want my people to listen to Alan more so. He's awesome. He's a way better reviewer than me. But I can't find a motherfucker. Damn. Fix the site. Anyways, sorry about that. Ganja, Little Fire Site. How's that site?
Oh, a little fire burning.
God damn it!
Little fire burning. You do not want to go to that website either. It's kind of saying terrible. It's a little easier. It's a little easier. I'll say that.
I can find the shows.
Easier to get to the Illuminati podcast with me, Ruthless, and of course the great Birdman. Talk about cultural relevance, talk about history, talk about politics, and try to make it funny, educational, and of course just give all our opinions and as well make past judgment upon people that are fucking up. We also do another show. Oh, no, I forgot. I was going to say the Unnecessary Video Game Show. I do another show on the Metropolis known as Obsessed History with Ganja Guru. Right now, it's just a Mayday episode. I am working on the second one. Right now, I got a bunch of stuff going on, so I'm trying to balance everything, but I am working on the second episode. Once I have it ready for you, edited, I'm going to add some new trickery to it. You guys are going to enjoy that, and let me know how you like it. And, of course, criticisms, compliments, I appreciate all that just to make a better product.
Yeah, by the way, Cedric, I'm going to talk shit about you really quick. Okay, WWE ends pay-per-view with Brock Lesnar. AEW ends it with fucking John Moxley, who, by the way, is Justin Ambrose, who was on every Raw, and we're bored as fuck about it.
Sure, take that shit to the Ringside Hangouts.
I'm sorry.
Canceled Ringside Hangouts.
Yeah, Alan, cancel it. We can't do it anymore. You're a fucking asshole. Why'd you do that, Alan? I really
want. Well, after Anime Night, I want to cancel
night.
After Anime Night, I want to cancel another show. I'm gonna cancel 4 more and get the Infinity Gauntlet.
Wait, Anime Night wasn't a show.
Oh yeah.
You should have aimed for the bird.
We start an anime show so I can cancel
it. Aim for the bird. We're getting the fuck out of here. So now, hey guys, let's do it right this time. And 3, 2, 1, attack the chat. Hey Judd, you want to watch The Perfectionist again?
Not unless you pay me.
Okay.
But I'd honestly rather watch that over again than Terminator 1.
We can watch Requiem for a Dream though.
Fuck you so much. God, I'm not even gonna talk about that any afterwards, because I know you guys are gonna talk shit.
Next week's review, y'all.
Good lord. Requiem for a fucking dream. Darren Aronofsky.